Good evening and welcome to the Doom City of Granitegard here on the Guardtower Presents. This is our weekly fantasy action adventure roleplay. We stream Sunday evenings at 7 p.m. on the Guardtower's Twitch, and then we upload those episodes on Fridays to the Guardtower's YouTube channel. And if you're interested in with the Doom City of Granitegard, you can come visit us at our Linktree address, and that is linktr.ee/dcog. Again, that is linktr.ee/dcog. There you can find links to the Guard Tower's YouTube and Twitch channels. You can also find links to the guardtower.com. That's important. We'll talk about that later. But you can also find our X, our Patreon, our Super Happy Good Time Productions.com.
You find it all.
Website, as well as our Discord channel. And the nice thing about our Discord channel is you can keep abreast of everything that we have that is going on with Super Happy Good Time Productions, as well as the Doom City of Granitegard. Yeah. And check out what we've got going on for our season 2. We have 2 fantabulous shows coming out here in our season 2 relatively soon. We have the Shifting Realms, as well as the Mask of Aramel Part 1, the Mockingbird, and the Raven. And we also have a Saturday show that we're doing for the Guard. What?
Double bird, double fun.
What?
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
Right.
That is actually
Double bird, yes.
I've heard
okay, yeah, okay. Anyway, we have a Saturday show, and we're looking for people like you to join us on that. We are featuring local DMs as well as players on a Saturday morning show to come out and show us what you've got.
How many birds?
And it does not have to have birds. Yes, so.
Show us your bird. Bird.
No, that's Saturday show is what I said, yes.
Yes.
Anyway, this evening we have an incredible map with additions brought to us by our friend Chris Fields. And we have many and Chris Wolfgang over at Glittering Cave Studios, and Tony Thefferson has also added a couple of fun items for our players to encounter this evening.
Fun.
And we have music provided out by us by our friends over at Pocket Bard. Pocket Bard is an incredible, easy app that you can download it to your electronic device today, and you've got access to all kinds of different genre of music on there. You can have exciting action adventure music, you can have exploration music, and celebratory music. So if your players beat the monster, hey, you can have a little bit of excitement and horns for that. Or if the monster eats them, well, you got some good sound effects to back that up as well. So download that today.
You died.
Wait,
And it.
did you not spell Linktree? I'm so sorry. I just
Hours ago.
So, yes, pay attention in class. We're moving forward. Anyways, but we did discover that Chelsea apparently is incredibly gifted at math. So at least that's one person in the room that can add. That's fantastic.
I never said that. I just said I like math. I mean, arithmetic is like spelling.
I did
Whatever, it's
confuse
fine.
him with
Don't
times
worry.
2 birds. Bird to the power of 2.
And I
It's
said
Yeah.
So,
Citizen
biologist. Get out of here.
yes,
They
but,
were-
I digress. If you like action, adventure, role playing, strategy games, card games, dice, paints, minis, the whole 9 yards, you can find that.
Whatever this is.
But that's
At the Guard Tower, yes. Yeah, they actually prepared a whole bunch of cards from Magic the Gathering. What were they? What was that line of cards?
Outlaws of Thunder Junction.
Yeah, Outlaw of Thunder Junction. And
What's your function?
Not a sponsor.
so
Yeah.
you know, you can all
I
help.
don't know anything about that. I wish it was
Like I said, though, you can find those at the Guard Tower. Where's the Guard Tower? One might ask. Well,
Down there.
they have
Better get out
2
of my
locations.
junction.
You can visit them at the east
Downstairs.
location, which is right off of 270 off on Main Street. Just a quick and easy jump right off the route right there.
Allegedly.
Or you can head up to the northwest side of the city for the west location, which is off Premier Grove Road. Take that north of the Nike Drive, make it a left-hand turn. Second right into the parking lot there, and you can find a ton of friends that you can experience. 5514.
Just look for the giant tower.
Yeah.
You know,
People
Where
never
you'll
hide
see
it.
us recording 24 hours a day.
when people drive around Tilting Towers, they like they lie.
There's a banner on the side of the building.
Yes.
It says help.
But we all know everything's true on TV and the internet. So yes, a tower. But yes, you can visit the Guard Tower West location and find a host of exciting players that are out there playing the games that you like to play, meet new friends, and have new adventures. Or pick up some paints and some dice for your own games at home. But if you can't visit them and physically, you can always visit them at theguardtower.com. Once again, that is theguardtower.com.
The power of the World Wide Web.
Yes, the interwebs. Nothing can stop you from making your purchases there.
Yeah, there's spiders.
So, I think that wraps up most
Spend
everything that
responsibly.
I am using your freedom poorly.
You
Yeah,
would
so
download a spider
that's everything that I've got.
if we know you. Sorry.
Is there anything else, Roger, that I missed this evening?
No, I think you covered it all quite well with that.
Fantastic. All right. Well, we're going to roll our intro and then we'll hop into recapping into tonight's adventure. So we'll see you here in a few moments.
Once the seat of economic and political power in the Northern Territories, the city of Granitegard fell in one catastrophic moment of terror and bloodshed. In the quiet hours of the night, the massive granite mesa that served as the city's namesake exploded violently, the debris reducing entire swaths of the city to ruin. Before the inhabitants could even comprehend what had happened, they were blindsided by an army of monstrosities surging from the sewers and into the city streets. The militia valiantly attempted to protect the fleeing citizens, but their efforts were futile against the overwhelming tide of bloodthirsty creatures. And in the midst of the chaos, the city gates slammed shut, turning Granitegard into a death trap for anyone that remained behind the high, fortified walls that had been meant to protect them. For over a decade, it has stood as silent as a tomb, and shrouded in a perpetual mist. No one has entered, and nothing human has ever come out. That is, until now. 12 years to the day since the fall of Granitegard, the Trader's Gate has opened. The news has spread like wildfire across the human crescent. And like a siren's call, fortune hunters from far and wide have been drawn by the possibility of untold riches lying just inside the city walls. Daring the foolish and the brave to risk it all at a chance of wealth beyond their wildest dreams. It has also stirred the interest of old rivals. With no one from the original bloodline to claim the mantle of leadership of Granitegard, plans are forming in the dark. Powerful forces seek to play their games of state, as the lives of everyone in the north hangs in the balance. And in the midst of this all, 6 strangers have been drawn to Granitegard by something other than riches or power. Their destiny is tied to the events surrounding the fall of the city. Each of them must confront the past in order to find a way forward. Each of them must search for answers in the doomed city of Granitegard.
Welcome back. We're going to begin with a recap this evening, and then we're going to pop into tonight's adventure. Time is running short for our heroes, and war is coming to the north. The Antheerian Army has arrived at Newtown to defend its interests against the expansionist claims of the Concordance of the Silver Plains. The party has been forced to confront the corrupted bishop, the first of Malicinus's deadly lieutenants, as they sought out the items needed to prove Lon's heirage to the sovereignty of Granitegard and fulfill the deal with the leader of the Antheerian forces, Prelate Exetorus. Faced with a dire situation against a foe more powerful than the party could have imagined, Lon sacrificed himself to help defeat the bishop. In the aftermath of the battle, our heroes came together, hoping to make a plea to the one god to restore Lon. They were transported from their mortal plane of existence to somewhere beyond their understandings of life and death. They encountered something other than the try that one more time. They encountered something other than what they had expected, and their experiences had not prepared them for what they saw in the beyond. After being shown various points in their lives and experience that they had to show that they were selected by the one God, the party realized that they had become more than just allies of convenience. They had become even more than friends, a family that needed one another. With the blessing of the one God, they returned with Bond back to the material world which they called home. Each was blessed in some way by the event. Unfortunately, Malicinus was not just standing by to let this happen. Her servant, Bashira, who was Vaughn's sister, had poisoned the Antheerian camp, rendering the fighting force nearly crippled and pushing Exetorus to his physical limits. Gildan provided the heroes with a sliver of hope, though. A mushroom he had encountered many years ago was rumored to grow only within the caverns of the Queen's Grotto within Granitegard, and so our party prepared to face the evils within Granitegard one more time. Now, where we had left you all, you're preparing to leave the Antheerian camp. What are you doing at this point? Vaughn, you've gathered your party together. Where are we headed?
There's mushrooms to be gathered. It's no time to tarry. Forward.
March.
I mean, I agree. We gotta go get. We gotta save these people, but when are we gonna talk about how you died?
Yeah, that was kind of like a big deal.
I had imagined we would deal with those small details after we had,
Save the world. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
7A.
Yeah.
Oh.
we
Yeah.
talk at the same time. Now you left out.
He like brings out his book and shows you that he's made several editions since coming back from the death. It's actually going to be more of like a 10C.
Let me update my list.
Doing that on purpose, which is
Doing what on
no, it's
purpose?
fine.
I'll say this before we go. You did what you thought you needed to sacrifice yourself, but don't do it again, because I feel like that was a one-time thing, getting brought back from the dead.
This may be challenging for you all to hear, knowing that I typically have a plan for most things, and I think that's what you all think at least. That wasn't necessarily the intention. I wasn't doing that to sacrifice myself. I was kind of playing that off the cuff as I was moving. It just didn't work out quite as well as I anticipated.
Been spending too much time with me.
You could say that you're all
Reverend's fault.
growing
I
on
agree.
me to differing degrees.
I always thought I was a good influence on you, Vaughn.
You're certainly an influence. Reverend.
Well, guess there's a mushroom to get.
Yep. Please tip your hat. Yep.
I reckon it's mushroom run time.
Yeah.
Always
reckon?
sounded like this.
Yeah.
For our purposes, are mushrooms considered plants?
Oh, that's a great question.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Ask the science guys.
I was
Will
just
know.
gonna say,
Yeah,
Chelsea-
about that.
Chelsea
Any of us
says
know.
It's the soft side, so it doesn't matter.
No, who cares?
I'm pretty sure mushrooms, if they're not,
We're all
don't
plants.
exist.
As the party,
I remember hearing somewhere that a scientist classified it as not a plant, not an animal, not it's not
The
even
Granitegard
something-
Guardian scientist said this.
It's just something completely separate, and they don't know how to explain it.
No.
You've never talked to mushrooms before. We'll just put it that way.
I've never talked to plants before, but this is the first time for everything.
Oh, it's
You'll regret.
You gonna try to talk to some mushrooms?
I'm going to try.
I never
amazing.
talked to a mushroom, but I ate some mushrooms one time and it said some very strange things.
Well, usually it's the other way around. The mushroom then,
growing up, I actually talked to mushrooms quite a lot. They don't talk back, but I mean,
Oh, Skeech.
so sad. What?
No, nothing. You just shared a really cheerful anecdote. That's all. That's
Well,
all.
yeah.
Nothing.
Growing up, there were these little blue caps. They would glow at the moonlight. It was actually pretty nice.
Sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
What does one say to mushrooms?
Hello.
Oh, just
Hello from the other
Yeah.
side.
never sang.
that map to save all of my dearest friends. How's that go?
I mean, I already got it.
Oh, now you seem to be in a bit of a rush.
Oh yeah, I ran out.
I've been waiting to go.
You could.
And so a little. You
Assuming back to the garrison tower you all are heading.
To the garrison tower.
That's the fastest way to get back in, isn't it?
It's the really only way you guys have to get back in. I mean, you can always try storming the front gate, but
Hey, did we
We
decide
haven't
that we
tried
would
that yet.
try using teleportation circles? I know we discussed that last time. Is that
Well,
gonna be a thing?
We
I don't.
I think we don't know the location of your circle, or if
Oh.
there is one.
To my knowledge, there
Okay.
not one or hasn't been one, at least one that I was privy to, so I won't be able to.
Am I able to roll to see if I know of one since I have the spell?
unfortunately, you would have to know the location of it to be able to tap it.
I mean, we
Do
keep a
that, like,
lookout while we're in there. It's possible, Melissa.
I have the ability to detect magical emanations. If I could, if I sense, what school of magic is teleportation? We can, if once you go through your notes, or we can figure it out, and if I know what to look for, that would help.
Okay.
I do have, if we are passing by the tower, I do have, if we could take a few minutes, I got a little bit of a loose end, so to speak, that I need to tie up.
Okay.
Don't look at me like this is the first time I've said something cryptic.
I think you should be impressed no one asked any follow-up questions.
You probably should.
Honestly.
Yeah, so loose end. Do you want to say any more about that? Is it?
No, I do not.
Oh well,
You
great,
really
good.
set us
Big
up
enough
for failure there.
Do you want me
I feel like,
That's
asked for
quite
something,
rude.
We're like, oh, what?
The
I will not be taking questions at this time.
That
yeah,
was-
we're gonna
see,
be able
that
to
would've
check.
been helpful information to have.
I think he oftentimes lead there a little bit.
And I
Hopefully
start
we're
just
on
like
the way.
marching off in the general direction of the garrison tower. I probably don't know where I'm going, but I'm just like
At this point, it's just following the road.
choosing a cardinal direction that's
You're not going
like,
to fall. You know how to get from the Antheerian camp to the road, and the road leads pretty much.
okay, yeah, I just start heading down the
I
road.
mean, you've walked this enough times, and you could probably do it
Yeah.
blindfolded at this point.
I mean, that assumes that I
We're-
was paying attention ever at any point.
We're
That's well
walking and
said.
talking, walking and talking.
Tarquin knows the way. You're following him, I'm assuming,
Mm-hmm.
or walking
Doing great.
alongside. Everybody else is moving along with him at this.
This is how you know we're walking.
Okay. Well, you were the only two that were doing that. No, just wasn't sure.
I'm sorry, I'm riding on the guy. Or should I just?
Fantastic. All the way back to the garrison tower we go. The weather, of course, at the point in the air is certainly cold. You can feel it pressing against your skin. Anybody that doesn't have any winter outfits on at this point, it's certainly going to be quite chilly. Again, snow has fallen and pretty much blanketed most of the road and such. You can see any traffic that has been placed along it. There's not a whole lot leading down to where you are, but there is a set of human footprints that lead down the embankment and over towards the garrison tower. And they lead in the direction of that little thing that you two had left out.
Oh. Speaking of loose ends, Skeech and I were going to go check on the Algar trap.
The what?
I can't believe we haven't come up with a name for that yet. But yeah,
I can't label it.
that's
Oh. Then
What-
they wouldn't go inside
What are you
of
talking
it.
about?
Skeech and I are attempting to safely capture Algar and see if there's a way to save him
Say
after.
safely.
Did I not say that when we began this?
No, I mean it should be lethal.
I thought it was implied. The one time
I don't
that was an explicit.
well.
I feel like you know this about me.
I should have known better. You're right.
Seems tough.
Oh my god.
Yeah. If I trained him, I assume he would be.
I think this must have been something happened when I was a chicken.
Oh, yes. 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 My master, the only person who's alive from my monastery, is in some half cat form person mutation and can only speak to me through cryptic dreams. And I would like to cure him once we save the world. We've all been there, right,
It's so
Reverend?
true.
Oh yeah.
I spoiled you
And also,
in this endeavor.
there's a possibility based on his cryptic message that I taught him, and therefore I am
Your master's
master,
double master.
double master.
Mhm.
As of, yes, I like that.
Thank you for
good.
getting me up to speed on that. I missed a lot while I was a chicken.
Mm-hmm. Bit bird brained.
Are all of you going with them to the trap?
You like?
Yeah. I mean, if it goes away, I guess.
have
Yeah.
to go. It's funny because
As
chickens
you
are
approaching the
stupid.
trap, you can see a lump poking out from the snow. Looks to be dark fabric. You're not quite sure what it is that's poking above the snow, but possibly a humanoid outline next to the trap.
Okay, we should approach quietly.
I mean, if poison did its work,
Oh, you'll be asleep,
go
right?
out. And if it didn't, you go first.
Well, I have a way to stop him in his tracks.
Okay.
If he tries to escape.
Have that ready.
Something I've been working on.
I will approach.
Okay. As you approach the trap, again, there appears to be a humanoid outline partially buried in the snow. Looks like they've been here for a while.
So I didn't actually know what to do once this worked. Are we just gonna bring him back to the tower and then put him in a jail cell?
Rope.
Okay, that works. Echo will motion for Skeech.
How many feet of spider silk rope would you like?
All of it.
All right, I have until Arjuan tells me I don't anymore.
Okay, yes, use that plus 1.
All right.
And let's, just comfortably but securely, I'm going to help Skeech
As
tie
you
up.
go and disturb
guy.
the snow-covered mound, it is definitely humanoid. You begin to wrap the legs in the snow. They seem very scrawny and humanoid-looking, not cat-like at all. Very pale,
I think
skinny, scrawny legs. And as you
we can keep
roll over, you see the tax man. He is
Pull out my sword. All right, any objections?
he is frozen solid.
Oh, he's already dead.
He's had his day in court.
Check his pulse.
You can see he was obviously fidgeting around with your trap,
Uh-huh.
and it went off.
Well, this might make better
Hey.
bait, honestly.
All right, I can't believe that I'm saying this, but we should see if he's all right and if he.
I'll make sure.
Is he alive? No,
No,
he's dead.
He's been out here for many hours in the freezing temperatures.
I was gonna say that we should, try to help him if that was possible.
I was
I think the one God works in mysterious
I'm not exactly gonna shed a tear, but I was,
isn't
gonna
it
try to help.
a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy or whatever that he showed up at the trial like all the ghosts and now he's dead?
I mean, we all die.
I feel like
that is-
we're never really
So
confirmed
true.
that he was
Some
a
of us
ghost.
twice,
Yeah.
apparently.
I mean, point is nothing can be done now. So
You don't know about this guy. He was
moving on.
he was a corrupt official. He was fleecing the general populace, the common folk.
I imagine he
gonna
wishes he
check
bought
his
some
pockets.
fleas.
I took him down a peg when I first got to town.
There's
and,
a single gold coin.
made a bit of an enemy.
Mm.
But he tried to take me out, but gotta get up pretty early in the morning to get the Reverend Goodberries.
Hey, Rev, do you think we should get like a big rug and just put him in the nest?
It seems like overkill, but I do know we have a few extra rugs at the tower.
Well,
And I'm one less body in the bag.
I guess we should not just leave him out.
I agree.
here.
Get the legs.
No.
To have.
What do you think we should do? I feel like should
Can I be
You
frank?
just shove it in
I
a
kind of
bag.
bury this man.
It's really relatively easy.
It's not so much a question of if we have time. I don't know if we'll be able to
And in the bag, you
dig a significant hole with this weather.
So maybe source this work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got people in the tower.
Right, yeah, and if we happen to have some free time in between imminent peril to everyone we know and care about, we still have that giant skull in the bag.
You're so right, Sketch.
All right.
Every time I loot around in there, it just looks at me menacingly.
We've done so much in such a short period of time. Sometimes I forget about it.
It's so true.
I mean, I feel like this might be in poor taste with the dead guy and all that nobody cared about. But
Someone
if you guys don't want it, I want to put it up on the wall. I think
It's-
it'd be cool.
The dead guy?
No, the big skull. I think
I knew that.
we could make a skull room. Scullery.
Well, I guess we don't.
It's
I don't
famous.
really want to drag this guy all the way back to.
So he's going in the bag.
Yeah, he's in there. We're
All right.
good.
All right.
See the outline?
I do need everyone to know that while this is a coincidence. This was not the loose end I was talking about. I didn't do
You're
this.
gonna
No,
kill
it's okay.
somebody else.
I'm not gonna kill anyone.
When does it
Oh.
end?
I just assumed.
We're not killing anyone.
Well, that's just
Oh.
not true.
We're probably going to kill Malafindis and all of her underlings and 50-50 on sisters.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's 50-50.
We will
Right.
we will mete
True.
out justice. The one God's justice. We will do so judiciously. I suppose I should clarify.
I thought we killed the judge
Judiciary
too.
is my middle name.
No, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
I'm
Yeah,
picking up my coat.
agreed.
My-
Yeah.
Echo
We're
looks
good.
upset.
Oh,
Stupid text, man.
I'm
Pat,
sorry.
Pat, it's okay.
Yeah.
We'll find my mutant student later.
Your student.
Echo, I feel like I have to let you know that is a contact
Student
voice, and
master.
I could just set something up if you.
Oh, in the same place though?
No, I mean like
Oh,
on
somewhere
an
else.
arrow or
Okay. Yes, actually, that would be
a
great.
trank dart, maybe.
Okay.
ooh.
Yes.
That is a very terrifying thing to have.
What did
No, that's the non
what did Algog? What did he look like when he was not
A cat.
a cat person?
Well, he was high elf. So pointy ears, long hair. Wore green most of the time. He looked like he was the only elf I ever knew, so until recently.
That thing that you were able to do, where you make the magical berries.
Yeah, he taught me that.
The experience that we just had in Afterlife jogged a memory. I think I met Algar
Really?
many years ago.
Where? I didn't seem like he was. Well, I guess in the past he was a bit of an adventurer, but you're not that old.
It was when I was a young man. I first set out from what was Granitegard, and I was kind of out on my own. Man came by, and he produced a berry that fed me.
Did you
for
eat
a
it?
day.
Did you eat it?
I did.
Same
You
suspicion.
guys normally just make deals with men in the woods. That's how
Yeah.
you guys started this, right?
Usually.
I
yeah,
think
um,
so. I
That's the
think
only way to do it.
we sort of had the
I was in
same
a cave,
mentor.
so that seems-
Doesn't feel
Really?
like the
My
smell
time
is
with him
like
was
it.
short, but
Well, I don't have all the
people
puzzle
and
pieces,
judge.
but I do think it's quite fitting then that I was training you in sword work. If I truly did train Algar, who trained me, and he trained you, and I trained you,
This is giving me a headache.
then in a way, I trained me and you trained you, and I trained you.
I think that
Does
was
that
the-
make you self-taught?
Bond pulls out a pocket compact and just holds a mirror up to the reference base.
I think that well, for what it's worth, I hope we can find him and
I hope so too.
give him some help.
And maybe if that is a possibility, your father, it's not too late for him either.
Can I give some insight on Mary for a second?
Yeah.
I'm not here. I think I stayed at the tower because Mary, after the conversation she had with her dad in the other planar dimension or whatever, she doesn't think that Algar can be saved. And I think she didn't want to witness your heartbreak over it. I don't think she was in a place where she could do that.
So you went ahead to the tower?
So yeah, I'm at the tower, and I think I'm just like communing with the one God and praying and stuff.
You've gone up to the room, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Well, that's what I would have sauld to Mary if she were here, but she's not. So I assume it's because she was very confident that our plan would work. So
Well, work it did. Not exactly what you intended. So you arrive at the garrison tower at this point, and the gates are thrown open for you. Everybody seems quite happy to see you. And as they rush up to, Mary arrived just a bit ago. We didn't realize that you had come through back from the city, and yet here you are out front. Is everything okay?
we found a shortcut.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Look much different from the last time we saw you. Most eyes are drawn towards Reverend.
Shiny,
Several are looking
right?
at the lock
Oh,
of
yeah,
hair on
right,
your
right
head
here.
that is now bleach white.
Yip, just like fling her little cloak over her.
Well, welcome back. Is there anything we can do for you? And as you all pass through the gates, they close and lock behind you. And again, there seems to be quite an air of excitement that you're back. it- Is everything all right, sir?
Sir, it will be. We have a unfortunate quick turnaround time, so we'll be looking to leave as soon as possible. How is everything here? How is everyone?
As far as we know, everything seems to be quite well, as a matter of fact.
No mysterious illness. No one has come under the weather recently.
No, no. We know that the Antheerians seem to be locked down. The city is still locked down, and we've heard rumor that the Concordance is on the way. But
I have a request.
yes,
Any of our food supplies, casks, wine, mead, water, anything, please put them aside. Open up fresh supplies and start serving immediately. Nothing
absolutely.
that has been broken open.
Should we
and s-
dispose, burn everything else? or-
I'd like to have Skeech take a look, just to inspect things.
Would you try all of it?
No,
I can I can inspect one of
The
the.
only way to be sure.
Now wait, did
puts on your bib.
now this ailment did we not learn that it was magical in nature?
It was. Viper's
Viper's tooth.
Well,
3H.
Never mind.
if it's magical in nature, then I think that it would be best if I inspected the food reserves. And I'm going to start with the ale casks. I'm going to need you to bring those. Any of
is
those.
this your loose end?
In fact, isn't.
Hmm.
I'm concerned we're not going to have time for me to do
Yeah.
that other thing that I need to do right now.
Okay.
I wouldn't. I need 8 hours to do it,
Mm.
and I don't think we're going to be here for that long.
Are you tired? Sleep? Or...
Why do you,
Let's go with that.
can I ask why you need 8 hours for it?
Okay.
Why is it got to be in my private business all the time?
Because you keep talking about
Yeah,
it.
you brought it up.
You brought it up several
Oh, it's
times.
because I can't that part where my mouth always moves.
That was bad. So quick sometimes.
I thought maybe you had matching outfits for all of us.
Oh no, this is a one. This is a once an original, if you
Oh.
will,
Like one of a kind.
one of a kind, if you will, one of one.
Do we have extra oil lanterns?
Yes. There's quite a bit of extras, as a matter of fact.
In a way that is not remarkably alarming to everyone and trying to keep it out of the way, could we provide some additional lanterns so that there are not, I don't know, miscellaneous corners of shadows and darkness?
Yes, yes, sir. We can certainly do that. Do you want them burning all night?
I do, and I'd like to heighten security and have other individuals taking shifts.
Very well, very well. And they begin looking to accommodate.
Oh wait. I was serious about the ale casks. I'm gonna need those.
We'll be right on that.
Only if they're open.
Bring them up to your room.
Really want to lug a cask all the way upstairs.
Nah, just bring them to me right here. That's fine.
Why don't we bring you to them? That would be much easier.
Oh yeah, that's great. I'll see you all in a few minutes.
All right. They bring you over the casks of open ale, and wine, and beer, and mead.
I'm gonna in this room. I'm going to, as a ritual, sit on the floor very solemnly and cast detect magic as a ritual.
I don't know if it's unfortunate or unfortunate, but no magic is detected.
And as I like look at my pocket watch. Well, that was 10 minutes.
I'm sure I can do that.
Guess I think to myself, I probably got at least about a half hour before they come look for me.
Please don't.
Now it's time to sample. Now it's time to sample the ale.
Let's not have.
I kind of see where this is going. So let's jump over, and we'll get back to you in about 20, 30 minutes.
All right, so the Rev's probably sampling ale down there.
Single question.
So we probably have 30 minutes before he gets paranoid.
What do you think happens if we give him an hour?
No, but I think we should talk to the skull.
Yeah.
Drink a lot of ale.
The big one?
Yeah,
went to
let's go with that
college.
one.
I was
Do you have another one that you
I
want
was
to
gonna
talk to
say
us
I
about?
probably need to talk to Alpha Mother about the and she just kind of gestures to her cloak, which has two giant.
I don't think the
lumps
alpha mother can fly.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know how to either.
Oh, we could take you to the top of the tower and
Oh.
push you like a baby there.
I think that'd be a great idea.
Let's ask Echo. He's seen lots of birds.
I'm in.
I have a bad feeling about this.
All you need to do is me.
And what happens if I don't fly?
Pick you up and throw you again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Dark one's
with
on board.
style.
It's incentivizing to not follow.
Well, it's a good thing you've got friends. So off to the Alpha Mother
does
you're
it?
heading. All right. Let's kind of resolve this as we move about here very quickly. So Vaughn and Skeech, and who is with you with the giant skull
I'll
expedition
definitely
here?
need Mary to talk to the dead.
Well, you have to come get me then.
So up to the room you
Yeah.
head.
Let's go.
Anna, are you part of this?
Yeah.
Why not? Anybody else joining them?
Sure.
All right. Those of you that look to find out what happens with the giant skull, head up to see Mary as she is in the midst of a bit of a prayer ritual here, and looking to focus and maintain. I'm assuming. What do you?
I think I want to just kind of ask and see if I can get any insight whether or not Algar can be spared, because based on what I heard from my father, it sounds like if he can't be spared, I assume that Algar can't either. But I also don't want to crush
It's okay. I've only lost a few families.
by saying that no, I don't think it'll work. So I'm talking to God about it.
All right. Go ahead
Great things
and
come
give
in
me a
threes.
religion, please.
Hey, Mary, we didn't get him, but we found the tax man, so I'm feeling optimistic. I hope nothing changes that.
That is a 15.
15. You're not feeling very positive about that.
That's what I thought. Okay.
All right. Moving forward, Skeech, you're looking over quite doughy-eyed, I'm sure, right now, like looking to get a favor, I'm assuming.
Hey, Mary. I know it's been a long day, but I know it'll cheer you up.
Oh.
A big old dead guy.
Skeech, sometimes there's a difference between our feelings and other people's feelings.
Yeah, I know. We're usually on the same wavelength. They don't get it.
Exactly what I was thinking. Yep. So what what are we wanting to do with this dead skull?
Well, we had a lot of questions about what came before that dragon. So, this guy might have been there because he's
Where did the skull come from? Was this
the lava.
the
room
lava
where
room? That's right.
Echo
That's right.
got real fresh.
The viewing chamber over essentially the iron prison down below. Echo's a stupid grin on his face.
Dude, again.
Do you know which questions you want to ask?
No, I don't
Oh.
think I should be the person asking the questions.
Oh, well, shall we think of our questions first, and then I can cast the spell and we'll
Yeah,
gain
but-
some insight.
This is why I went to you first. That's pretty wise.
That's so wise. Really?
Thanks.
Did you see how she is?
Pretty wise.
Great. Good.
Oh, I'm so glad you noticed, Tarquin. Okay, so we get we get 5 questions. What do you want to know? How do we word this? Spitball, write some stuff down. Or maybe you can write stuff down, because you're really good at that.
How did it die should be one of the questions, right?
How did you die? Perfect
Maybe.
start.
It's pointed, it's direct, borderline insensitive, depending on the personality we get, but I think it depends.
And it's not yes or no, so we'll get a lot of information.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1. How did you die? Number 2.
I think it's a really good start. Should we ask about Malacindus?
Be really smart.
It seemed like
Really
the
wise of you. I know.
didn't the giant die in one of their lairs or something? Like
Yeah,
so-
it harvested
So we
all
wanna
the
know-
crystal things.
yeah, information about the crystal things.
Oh, yeah.
So who is your relation to Melisandus? Is that
Um,
No?
Because they could be like.
I think we can
cousins or
assume they
something.
didn't get along, right? So we can.
What do you know
ask
about
more pointed? Yeah.
Malison?
what do you know about
Yeah. Find out any weaknesses.
Oh,
I think at this point it's better for tactical questions like that, Anna. That makes a lot of sense.
that seems like a 2-parter. right? That's 2 questions, right? So what do you know about Malicindas?
Yeah, how do they handle compound questions?
Just one question, just never ends.
Yeah, in order to really make that successful, you need to get a toddler in here. And it's just like,
You can ask about a keystone. I don't know who was around for that.
Because the keystone was around back then as well.
Well, it got
Do
the
we know that?
dragons in it, right? So it was giants, the
Well-
dragons, or dragons, the giants.
It was integral in the parts.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, except after C.
Exactly. Yes.
We have 2 more.
I'm wondering if there are any ancient allies that we could call upon that, I mean, that might not be relevant at all anymore, but if there's anything, if we're talking about kind of eternal powerful beings here, maybe there's someone we can look to that's nearby that we can channel, that we can find some way to key into. Something related to an ally. I feel like it has to do with the keystone a little bit. I imagine so.
Okay, so do you know of any helpful allies we could turn to?
Maybe.
Okay. I'm liking your brain today, Echo.
Tarkin, you got anything?
Those are the basics.
Do we understand fully the keystone and what we do with it once it's full?
It will unlock the prison that Malicindas is in, thereby releasing her, but also giving us the chance to kill her, is
Just
my
a
understanding.
window.
Animicus.
Yes.
Yes. Animicus.
Yes.
Is in the prison.
That's
Oh,
right.
correct. Yes. She seeks to release Animicus.
So we're releasing him first.
Yes, we are doing Malicindas' job for her, but in doing so, we can defeat her.
well, we're gonna do it in a cool, good way.
Yeah.
So what's our last question?
Hell.
Get this.
We could. I don't know if this is helpful, but I mean, you tried to get into that city that we saw. Maybe there's
Oh,
another
the
way
Dwarven
in.
city?
Maybe
Hold on. Angie's Pizza's great.
Maybe I'm just somewhat sensitive to this issue after
dying.
you said it.
The D word.
Maybe we use this last question, one of them. Maybe we use this last question to see if there was anything that they needed to have taken care of that wasn't able to be done in our lifetime.
So like fully put them to rest.
Unfinished business. Something that's
Yeah.
we could provide as almost an offering for making this ask. Is there something we can do to help you or yours since
And that's why I think we should lead with that question. Might be
Sure.
a bit more, or a little less cryptic.
Is there something we could do to help you be put to rest?
something like that? Yeah. Wordsmith it as you will. To be honest, I've heard we're supposed to be quite direct. I'm curious if we should let Echo ask the questions.
I love it.
He looks down at the giant skull. You want me to talk to that?
Yep.
I can talk to plants, I can talk to animals, but I don't really speak to skulls.
You could try.
I mean, we've all got them, and you do a great job.
Mm-hmm.
I could put some meat on it if it would make you feel better.
Can you do that?
Want to go find like a roast? Put some slice on taste.
You put meat on it
Yeah.
to make it more comfortable.
More comfortable speaking to
Casual
people.
instruction.
I know.
Roll sleight of hand for me, Skeech.
Oh, you feel really respected now. This question, man, we covered it all.
That's gonna be a 23.
As strange as it is, the slices of roast beef and stuff that begins layering on there actually begin to look very much like the muscle that should have filled out. And strangely enough, after about 15, 20 minutes of Skeech's work, you're like,
I need
actually
chicken.
looks like a giant's face.
Skeech, I think you have a future as a meat artist. Have you heard
Have
of
you done this before?
Sandwich artist.
Wow.
Yes, I have done this before. No, I will not answer any questions.
Echo.
But it's
the
working in a
outline.
subterranean
Mary.
way.
And if you know, if I get flustered, feel free
Yeah.
to jump in.
Feel
Yeah.
free to riff.
Okay.
Okay, so am I reading these in numerical order or in your opinion orders? Because it begins with how did you die?
I think we asked Start at
Okay.
the bottom, then go.
Okay.
Up, maybe.
Started from
bottom,
the
okay.
Now we're here.
Bottom.
Okay, like pig Latin, go from the bottom and then.
I don't know how to
read.
read.
Not much, but maybe the bottom one first, and then the others,
All right.
whatever.
You got it.
'Kay.
All right.
Sprinkle.
All right, I'm going to cast Speak with Dead.
Meat.
As Mary begins reciting the prayer
Immediately said,
and
"Did it work?"
seeking to channel the divinity, the skull shakes and shimmies for a brief moment, and the meat that is on it actually begins to kind of tighten up on the skull. And a moment later, you can see the jaw work up a little bit, and the nose that Skeech is kind of put on there. It looks like it almost inhales for a second,
Turkey leg.
and you hear a raspy sort of breathing coming from this thing.
Hi. Oh, can't ask questions. Can't ask questions.
That wasn't a question.
I
technically.
know. I stopped myself.
We're doing great, guys.
Hello. Is there something we could do to help put you to rest?
Kill
Man.
yourself, nasty creature.
Okay.
Let them all die.
No, that's enough. That's enough.
You're right on that.
Next question.
Disgusting.
Hold the comments. How did you die?
That witch.
Malicindus.
Yes.
It was a period.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I said that with a period, not with a question mark.
Yes.
I would like that. I would like that to be known.
Yes. And it shovels down.
And he wasn't helpful. Well, he was very mean. So, and I kicked the meat mask man thing.
Wasn't meant to be.
The meat now sloughs off onto the floor.
What a jerk.
That's raw, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Mary, I would just like to say my tone was very I had
right,
confidence in it. Those were not questions.
I'll try someone else next time.
And, hey, I thought you did great. I thought you did a great
And
job.
with Mary's words, we'll try someone else next time. You hear from the cellar door.
Hey, Anna.
Hey, y'all, what we doing up here?
The stairs.
We're getting bullied by a meat skull.
Actually,
I thought you took care of those spiders. Meat skull.
Let me describe to you. See everybody huddled around the skull.
I said, hey, Anna, could you help me take this to the stairs? to about the skull. And I think the rest at the bottom. So this might interrupt what's happened.
Oh,
Oh, you're at the bottom yelling up?
I guess, yeah.
Oh. Whoa. All right.
Look out below.
So you don't see anything.
What's going on? Hey, what's going on out there?
Don't answer our questions.
Make a dexterity save.
Are you
much-
inebriated?
Of the joy have you imbibed? Is the answer yes?
Enough.
I was reliving my days in Bard College down there.
Oh, roll with disadvantage, please.
why would you do this to yourself?
Yeah, we ask that
It's
every
for
day.
comedic
It's-
effect.
You can choose one of the two. You can either choose it's called self-destructiveness or for funsies. Either one.
Are you trying to
Put
like
those hands together.
That
before the?
I'll let you
question?
throw acrobatics
the
on
dex
that.
save, you said?
Dex- yes, the dex
Okay.
save.
Well, glad for that.
Mary, we don't have to kill ourselves because the skull told us to, right?
Okay.
No.
Well, that will
Absolutely
be
I don't know
a
how it works with the gods. so.
because it's a disadvantage. I roll really well, then I roll really bad.
So you hear the skull as it leaves your view, clattering and bouncing off of various points on the spiral staircase. Reverend, as you're looking up, you're not exactly sure what in the world is happening. It sounds like one of your friends is falling down the stairs. It's this
It's spicy.
kind of a
Oh,
bumpy,
no.
slapping, wet, meaty sound. And then
Oh God!
comes around the corner, and as your brain is trying to put the information together, this skull with an untold amount of pounds of meat upon it slams into you. That's what you hear from downstairs.
So cold.
Relatively and shattering sound, yes.
Why is there meat covered skull on me.
I guess it made it to the basement.
It did.
The
I
kobolds
kinda-
are gonna love it.
I shove it off of me, and I look down at my
What do you
garb,
think
like, Skeech, you got cheat goo all
shut
over
the
my
door.
new suit.
Shut the door.
But then,
Ah.
as I come up the steps and look down, the suit magically cleans itself
It's a
and
miracle.
goes back to being a shimmering, brilliant white.
You still smell funny though. Oh.
Disguise. Yeah.
Ooh.
Rev, I know that
I thought that
you
I was
like
in heaven.
to blame me, but it wasn't me.
Well,
Yeah.
it was you.
He's lying. I can
don't-
see it on his
I-
face the way it looks.
Well, then who was it?
I think it just got up and jumped.
Did the ritual go wrong?
Yeah. No. It went well.
It didn't go to plan.
So that's why. So it like.
Yep.
That's how
The ritual
how-
happened and it went down the
One of your findings. Reverend. How did
Huh?
you die?
Oh,
What's your report?
Oh, ale's all good. It's all good. It's of a
Yes.
fine vintage.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, and all the other food's good too.
You sampled everything?
What?
What? No, I
That's the right
Everything that would smell. But the meat was poison.
no, I did.
Reverend, can we not leave you alone for an hour?
Conducted a very methodical
Mhm.
assessment
Mhm.
of the victuals down there. You sell it.
People are
And,
dying right
Now I feel like we're going to fail a serve safe inspection on account of the rotten meat skull that
Hey,
you.
that was fresh meat that I did not see.
Okay, well, anyway,
Do you guys smell that?
that's
No.
Smells
that's
like
food safety. That's a food safety hazard.
There
But
was
anyway,
stumble
the rest of the
allegedly.
food is not poisoned by magical means, as far as I can tell.
Okay. So our people are at least safe then.
So my work here is done. You are
Fantastic.
welcome, everyone.
Thank you for your service.
don't encourage this.
You did a good job. And
That's true.
he did get attacked
I did
by someone.
what I said I was going to do. I'm a man of my word.
Questionable methods per usual.
Anything else you guys are doing while you're here?
Ooh, okay.
Did you leave the door to the basement open with the kobolds, or where did that thing end up? Out of
It's at the base of the stairs to the tower.
I'll touch that.
Well,
It touched me. That was enough.
so it did hit.
Yes, it hit me.
That's a terrible thing.
That's
that
so
you couldn't move fast enough.
Such a tragedy.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Well, did we do what we need to do here? Are we heading out now?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Was taking care of something.
Well, did we do what we needed to do? I'm not sure if we did.
We did something.
But we can move on now.
Understatement of the year.
So, yip. As you are down in the basement with the rest of the kobolds, you've approached the Alpha Mother, and
And
you
check.
nestle up down behind her, right down next to her, and you hear this terrible thundering sound with this girlish scream and a shattering of glass. But nobody seems to come down to the
Wasn't
basement.
me.
directly. Alpha Mother looks over to you and she sees the wings and she smiles at you. She's so you know.
No, what specifically?
You know.
Obviously you're not truly a kobold.
I picked up on that a long time ago.
And well, being that you are the last of the only offspring of the 12, you definitely stand in a very unique situation. It's important that you find a way to hide that and not let Maleficent see it.
As she kind of like glances back to the probably decently sized wings on her back and then back to the alpha mother, like, how?
Move your back muscles a bit, like you're kind of pulling them in, maybe rolling your shoulders a bit. Try that.
I try that.
As you're kind of fidgeting around with it, trying to make it work, it actually you can feel the wings tuck themselves very tightly up against your back, and you can feel that the actual wing itself, when you open it and spread it to bear weight, the finger-like extensions in it will lock into place. But as you pull the wings in tight, they also relax, almost the way a bat wings will. And as it presses against your back, it does condense quite a bit.
Oh,
Now they're not completely gone, but a good cloak will certainly make that disappear as well.
I mean, I still have this on as like she's had that big fluffy coat on because it's so cold outside this whole time. It's just her wings are under that.
Yeah, they were pushing out because you hadn't exactly tucked them back in. Now for that will help you disguise them. And as far as flying goes, well, that's something you may just have to learn on your own. I believe that should you give it a try, it may be easier than you think.
I mean, I know that the others suggested I just take a leap of faith off and just go for it.
Your friends are nice, but they are sometimes idiots.
We're gonna do it anyway.
I can agree with that.
I would recommend probably not taking that leap of faith directly on your first attempt. But given that you are pressed for time, it may end up being that at some point. I don't know to say anything other than relax and trust your instincts. It should come very naturally to you.
Are you feeling any better though?
As best as I can.
I do have one slight question though.
Please ask.
If I'm as like she kind of glances back to like her back where the wings are now mostly hidden away again, and like back to the alpha mother. Then who's going to take your place?
And she looks over to a set of the kobolds, and the guards back away, and there's a very young hatchling, maybe 6, 7 months old. It does appear to be larger than several of the other hatchlings.
You know, baby.
You will be a very good guardian to the next alpha mother. Just be careful with yourself, girl.
I will.
And she reaches out for your hand and then pulls you in for a hug. Now, go with your friends and keep them safe, and don't let them take leaps of faith, please.
And like Viv just holds her face in her hand, like
Says you.
that's hard to do when they've already done that before.
They did very well. And back up you come. As you come up and out of the stairs, there's a giant skull. Sky is at the base of the stairs, eating on the meat.
So is Echo.
And
Good. You.
several other dogs.
It's like a charcuterie board.
You know, I
Eating
believe
as well.
barbacoa is face meat.
Oh, that's true. And guanciale.
I'll take your word for it.
It's called meat and it's art.
Is that what they're calling it these days?
You're not quite sure what happened here, but broken glass, and again, Echo with a bunch of dogs chewing on a meaty skull.
Oh, hey, Gabe.
Most unenthused.
They're upstairs.
Do I want ass?
You can have some if you want. Is that what you meant?
No.
There's plenty to go around. Skeet's got practically like the whole face, and it had like moving like mandibles. It was actually very impressive. I didn't know he knew that much about the anatomy. In fact, I don't even know
That's
some of that. I
taking
didn't.
apart a lot of faces.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
Top of the tower, I guess you're heading.
Yeah, I guess so.
So often you can see on the wall as you're heading up the space ladder of boots in sight.
Sidestepping around those.
Yes, Ajou. And up to the top of the tower you go, where the rest of your friends are. Reverend's plastered. Vaughn is
Allegedly.
writing something in a book. Or
I
reading
don't want to
much-
forget this night.
Yes. Is there anything else
This
you're
is the
doing while we're
mural.
here at the tower, folks?
Um,
Any threads that need to be tied up?
Are you sure you're gonna be fine for us to go out with you like that?
Have we met?
Oh God, she's worse than I thought.
I think we need to stay here.
Oh,
till
I've
it's better.
had this rhetorical question. I'm fine. I got something I got to do the next time we come back here, though.
Me too.
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell you that.
Are you sure you want to go out
So don't ask.
and likely fight something when you're this drunk?
I don't want to ever go out and fight horrible monsters, but it's kind of our thing.
Do you really want to do that when
You
you're
can-
drunk, though? On
We
top
can
of that,
clear them up if we need.
I especially want to do it if I have a little bit of ale.
liquid courage. Guess I just start leading the way then.
The tree didn't grow any that I planted, did it? Not yet.
No, the tree has not grown yet, as far as anything as height goes. But what you do notice is that the seed itself is cracked, and there appears to be a small, little greenish bulge popping out of the top of it. Not all the way out, but just a little bit.
I'll keep that in mind.
Cute.
Is there any news of the way?
Generally, no news of the way.
I have all emojis.
Said that above table.
Wow.
You asking one of the stewards there at the tower?
No, I was asking you.
Okay, no, not seeing any signs or anything else along those lines currently.
Shall we?
Cool. Ooh,
And like as they're starting to head down to,
Just a trail.
head out, Euphia's like looking to Fawn, like, look, let him hide away.
What are you talking about? He winks at you.
And like she's kind of really happy that she can at least keep her cloak on better because it is very cold out.
And then down into that tunnel you all head. One of the stone singers comes with you to reopen the passageway back out, and you step across that threshold, and the stone seals in behind you in a very long walk, very familiar walk at this point. As you come out of the secret passage and into the sewerway again, there's that cave-in that was caused as the Kobold hive had been raided. Where you first come out, you can see you have a way to go up to the surface from here, or you could take that path that leads you over kind of by where the cathedral was, which borders right next to the woods. There are a couple different ways into the woods themselves. There is an entrance that is right next to the castle. There's an entrance off the main boulevard that is right next to where the cathedral sits. There's a southern entrance that takes you by the pond, and that would technically place you closest to the Queen's Grotto, but it is the most exposed route there. The least exposed would have you pass by the cathedral, cross the street into the woods, and then walking through the woods over to the grotto. But
I mean,
whichever direction you wish to head.
I don't think you guys got to see exactly what it was like outside the cathedral, but hopefully all of that is gone. If not, the streets were full.
Full what?
Walking dead things
Oh.
mostly.
Good. Yeah. Totally.
Weren't there also some like
Distinct zombies.
weren't there also
I've
some
heard of
like
some
really
iterations.
bad plants around that area too?
Didn't ask.
Okay.
Echo said he could talk to plants, but I've never seen him do it.
So the least exposed trail, then, right?
Least exposed is full of dead things. Most. It feels like a fire day, doesn't it?
I'm gonna fiddle with a little
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
bottle cap badge on my vest and a like cartoon flame like dial.
I do have many abilities against undead,
And we have abilities for stealth
I
as well.
do as well.
so we might be okay.
How many can you deal with? Seemed like you were, I don't want to say struggling, but making do with just that entranceway, but there were.
Well,
A lot.
I feel a lot stronger than I did then with our newfound abilities. So I think I could handle more than I could previously. And with Reverend's help, I mean, I'm not sure what your capabilities are as far as those.
I
two go,
can.
but I
Wait a minute.
could.
I'm clear
check
30-foot,
defense.
30-foot
It looked like this.
radius around myself.
And I'm going to use the Etch-a-Sketch to draw
Yeah.
from my mind what my view looked like from the top
From your
of
mind
the,
hole.
the cathedral.
So from Skeech's position on top of the cathedral, you can see down into the courtyard of the cathedral proper, and everywhere practically inside of the cathedral's square footage, as far as the areas around, were packed full of undead of some nature. Now they weren't outside of the walls, but all the courtyard, all of the land around the cathedral itself, everything within the walls, there was just a sea of undead.
Skeets, that's a remarkably detailed picture.
Thanks.
Well, I don't know. Even though Mary and I have our ways of invoking the one God to rebuke the undead, perhaps we shouldn't tempt fate, and we
Take
should
the
go
road?
around the army of undead.
How out of the way would it be for us to go nearer to the keep and enter from that side?
The keep, if you were to take that way, it would pop you out near where Anna's house used to be.
Gotcha.
And then heading down that main boulevard to about where the keep sits. Although you could see the keep from where you are, you would be able to cross the street and into the wood at the northernmost portion,
Gotcha.
which you certainly remember like the back of your hand from childhood. Anna, you're also, both of you are familiar with the Sovereign's Wood and the Remembrance Garden, as well as the Queen's Grotto. The Queen's Grotto is called that, even though it is actually a cavern network. And the Queen's Grotto is actually a portion of that. But when most people refer to it, they just simply call that whole little cave network the Queen's Grotto, just because the most famous part for Vaughn, this is where your mother used to, one of her favorite places. She would take you here as a child any number of times. It was a very magical place. You could remember the sun shining down through the opening in the top of the grotto. It had all kinds of strange underground plants that were growing in there, but also mingled with plants from above ground as well. And Anna, you can remember also from your childhood going there. It was definitely a tourist destination here in town. But for you, it was neat because sometimes the royal family might be there, and you could catch a glimpse of Sir Gendron as he provided security for the royal family.
Yeah, this is why I didn't recognize Vaughn, is because I was always just like Sir Gendron.
I get it.
Yeah, right. I mean, like, yeah.
So, but yes, both of you know the rough layout. There is a
Live up to those shoes.
granite walkway through the Sovereign's Wood that would take you down to the Remembrance Garden, which is a series of 12 towering statues that were designed to remind people of the most famous of the sovereigns. And then where the ridgeline sits is where the opening to the Queen's Grotto would be. And again, there's a interesting opening area near there that was dedicated to Lysandra, and she had a little statue out in front there as well.
I would say we could spend time thinking about the most strategic path, but I'm also understanding the time is of the essence. I'm curious if we take the most direct path this time.
Yeah.
I think we're powerful enough to do it.
Yeah.
We can start stealthy. I can do my thing and get us as close as we need to get. But from there, I think there are many among us who can handle more undead than Granitegard has.
Well, and also as we walk past these those big statues, you can help fill in some of the gaps in my knowledge. Being common folk, we get educated on the fabled kings of the past.
Of course. And once we get to Lasagna's statue, we should be safe.
I'm going to say
I
this
don't really
once.
want to hear
Yeah.
about them, but it's like, you got to show
Speak
interest.
ill of my grandmother.
Oh, yeah.
Did you call her lasagna?
What?
Yeah.
She hated Mondays.
Wait.
That just went.
Beautiful.
All right. So,
Darkwood, could you please tip your hat for me? oh, wait.
Probably a lot.
How did you die?
Dad jokes.
Lasagna.
Yeah. Jason.
alrighty. Now I'm gonna have to work on making sure that I don't say that. Thank you.
Tip that. You're welcome.
Pop the mantler cover off.
In through the sewer system, you all tread,
Mm.
and out. Are you taking the northern or southern route?
I guess the southern, if it's more
Southern portion.
direct.
Okay. This pops you out by the college, and it requires you to swing out by the northern edge of it. These buildings seem to be a little bit more intact than the rest of the college does itself. Although you can tell that the manicorns have certainly roosted atop the college here, and you can hear their growls as they sniff the air, picking up new scents. Moving up to the edge of the gate of the wrought iron fencing that surrounds the Sovereign's Wood, you can see the pond that we had talked about prior to. The water used to be absolutely beautiful and clear. There were several fountains in it, but now they don't function any longer. And the water has a very thick greenish tinge to it. And there are several points as you're looking at it, you can see something moving in the water that seems quite large and unsettling. What exactly it is, it's impossible for you to tell unless you decide to pass through the gate and get closer to the edge of the pond.
Is that supposed to be in there? Part of the royal menagerie?
Well, if it is supposed to be in there, it certainly wasn't that size when I was a boy.
Does the green in the water look like algae?
Yes. The water itself is quite sickly.
Yeah. Okay. Are there any visible undead near the surface, like the edge of the water?
No, there don't appear to be any undead here in any shape or form. There are bones on the
That's okay.
pond's edge.
It's just part of the aesthetic.
Sky.
It's not a thing.
Watch this. Echo is going to stealthily approach the edge of the water and cast Speak with Plants on the algae.
Stealth, please.
As I see him approach the water, I'm gonna cast Mind Sense, just to make sure in 60 feet at least there's no thing lying in wait.
Within 60 feet of you, there does not appear to be anything currently lying in wait, but the pond is quite large.
Fair
That'll be a
enough.
7.
What's that?
A 7.
Don't you have a plus 10?
Is that with? No.
Oh, are we doing that? I don't
Yeah.
know. I didn't
That
cast.
was
I
up to
didn't
you.
say it. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's with all your skill bonuses added to it.
Yeah.
All right, you believe that you're coming up there as stealthy as you can up to the point
Okay.
Big step.
where you start stepping into the mud, makes these nasty sucking sounds as you're taking your foot in and out. And to the edge of the pond you go.
Okay. So I imbue plants within 30 feet of me with limited sentience and animation, so they can communicate with me, and I can question them. So we're like, "What is in the water?" Oh, great algae.
Food.
It's true.
Lots of food. I mean,
What is
Things
the
like
big
you.
thing?
what's that?
What's the big thing?
Big thing.
The big thing in the water.
The big thing in the water. Oh,
Yeah.
the thing that feeds us.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
What is it? What is it? What's it like?
It's got a large mouth. Got lots and lots of arms.
Okay.
It's shove things in the mouth with the arms.
Okay.
Yeah, it eats other large things. Eats things like you.
Okay.
You should come in the water.
You ask it if it's a beast, classified as a beast.
Yeah. Would you call it a beast? Is it like you? Is it a plant?
Those
I don't really
are the same.
answer that.
Oh, that question.
Elsewhere.
It's like you don't want to come in the water.
I don't think so.
Never mind. It's coming over to see you.
Oh, okay. And you see Echo like running backwards, like through the mud, like it's got many arms. The algae? No, the thing.
As Echo begins quickly backpedaling, you can see the water from the pond kind of surge up a little bit along the shoreline, and there's obviously something very large that is coming about as close as it can, rises just a bit out of the muck, and then back down. What?
I throw one.
What?
I'm going to throw an oil mob.
Oh gosh,
Oh,
what happened again?
Everybody, get ready.
And I'm going to cover the surface of the water in oil.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Okay.
And oil spreads out across the top of the surface, easily repulsed by the water itself.
Call him British Petroleum. Spreading
And,
oil all over everything.
Whatever it is doesn't seem to apparently like the oil and shifts back and then goes down back into the water again.
I think I got the algae.
and you see something pop up out
Guys?
of the water. Looks like an eyeball, kind of pivots and looks at you, and then back down underneath the water.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
if you do become king and you move back in here, you're probably gonna have to call someone to take care of that.
It is very low on the list.
It's true. It's true. It's like probably like
I got
13
more.
But it's good to have it on there. You know, we gotta keep track of all these details.
I imagine we'll get somebody to be in charge of parks and recreation. Would you be interested?
Yeah.
I don't think that's really my skill set.
Should we go around? I don't really want to deal with the many armed water creature.
It's a fish.
I
From
don't
here, the
know what
bridge
it
does
is.
cross over the pond. That would take you further into the park.
How sturdy does the bridge look?
It's wooden. Seems to be relatively moss covered at this point. Probably hasn't had a service crew out in a decade.
If the bridge is sturdy.
This does last 10 minutes, and it's a self radius of 30 feet. To the moth, so I can hear all of the plants around me.
Did you hear all the sounds you going?
Yeah,
Yes.
it brought back some traumatic memories for Echo. I felt a night drama line movie about this.
As if millions of lives were
Stuffed out.
stuffed out.
That's really legit there.
We're gonna have my kill count.
Moths are singing a very happy song about eating the bridge, and they're enjoying it.
They're singing. Sound.
Well, according to my daughter, I murder music whenever I sing, so I'm probably not
The
going to attempt
day-
it.
So we run across the bridge like real quick.
Yeah, but the moss is eating the bridge, and it's happy about it. It says it tastes very good. So we should be very careful.
You combine that with Speak with Dead. Can you talk to the bridge?
Oh, snacks.
Talk to the what?
Wooden bridge.
I don't think that works.
I would like to try.
So how are we getting across this bridge?
I have an idea. And I'm gonna run across the bridge as fast as I can.
Dude, hold on. Before you do that, I can turn I can remove difficult terrain from plants, I think. So I could ask the moss to go away.
Peace.
You can turn difficult terrain caused by plant growth into ordinary terrain.
If everybody
it's like-
stays with you within that 30-foot radius as you move across
Yeah.
the bridge.
Oh.
Please don't make me do. Yeah, I love
So
that.
are you gonna run with me then?
Yes.
All right.
I'm thinking everybody now. If you see all the moss go, okay. We do that.
We used disperse.
We all did the thing.
Where did you get the bullhorn, actually?
So it was like, that we ran.
But
Just
we're
bump a tree on the way.
Steps non-synchronized, so the bridge doesn't.
I do have preps for the bridge to fall away from us. I'm gonna throw a teleportation bomb out the other side. Good luck, everybody.
Oh no.
Oh, wait a minute.
I want you to know that Will's counting us right now and then rolling something in
That's
response.
Sure.
Each.
As is his
Yeah.
prerogative.
For the party, please make a dexterity saving throw at
Sure.
advantage.
With advantage.
Hey,
Yes, you're
oh,
rolling
hey, and
because
you're
you're
within 10 feet of me.
You're
so
rolling
what's
for the
up?
party.
+5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can take.
Mine's less good than
Okay.
yours.
That's gonna be a total of a 21.
21. Due to the moist nature and such, and the decayed wood itself, although the moss does pull away, it's still very slick.
Thanks, guys.
And somehow you guys are able to navigate that without any trouble. Although
we
you
had a
all
squeeze.
are quite surprised at how fast you are able to move across the bridge when the tentacle things begin to reach up on the bridge to say hello. It does seem to motivate you all to move
You said it had arms.
across the bridge.
Tentacles. It was lost in translation.
Or tennis balls.
And others across the bridge all have come. Now you stand on the other side, at least 30 or so feet away from the bridge itself, on the pathway that would lead into the woods, which would take you right over to the grotto, maybe short walk, 5 minutes or so,
Did you say the bridge fell?
most of it.
Cool. We'll have to find a different way back.
But that was living in the pond. What's going to be in the woods here?
Yeah.
Something worked.
What is living in here?
As you all
What did the
stare
trees
at the
say?
woods themselves,
Lord, stop.
the woods are no longer a place of magical enchantment that you remember, Vaughn. You as well, Anna. Your childhood seems to be lost. The evergreens are tall and sinister. Their needles are very sickly, blotchy green pallor. And the deciduous trees are nothing more than just skeletons growing at odd angles. Their leaves shed long ago. And there's a thick miasma of mist that seems to drift in amongst the trees themselves.
Is it like a smoke where if you get under it or a small sized creature, it wouldn't bother you as much?
Oh no, you would be in the thickest portions as a small sized creature.
Legend.
So it's low. It's like low to the ground.
Yeah, so it goes up to about
Sky.
the waist of most of you.
Is it magical?
Figured out. So I won't. This seems urgent, so I will use a spell slot and cast detect magic.
There seems to be some necromantic to it.
Got bad news, everyone. Hylar, we got necromancy.
Oh no.
Okay.
So should we maybe not be touching this?
I mean, I think the only person who can avoid touching this is me if I knew how to use.
I got an idea.
Try yours first. It's something I've been wanting to do as well. What do you have, Reverend?
What's my solution?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Oh, well, you know how I can turn into creatures?
Yeah.
Well, if I turn something real big, get on my back and we'll walk across.
I'm gonna be honest. It sounds more fun than mine.
You want to give it a
You
shot?
haven't even heard it, Donna.
Do it. Go on first, and I'm gonna try to climb on Reverend's back.
No,
while
wait,
still a person.
Get off, get.
No, this is fine.
All right, so he's on my back. So I. So dumb. I love this spell so much. I am going to take out another little bottle of with a cocoon in it, and I'm going to take it out and crush it, and then I begin to expand larger and larger and larger, and then my head begins to grow long, or my neck begins to grow longer and longer and longer. And then my tail sprouts and grows, and then I turn into a brontosaurus, lumbering across
You still got that spider suit?
the swamp.
I'm going to grab some from Skeech and make like a lead over your neck, basically, and I'm going to try and hop on as well and try and basically control you.
Oh, because
And
now
aim for it.
I am as dumb as a brick.
I'm gonna go, whoa!
You just hear like just a bellowing sound when you go up there, like.
Never see this coming.
I don't think we're being very sensible.
It's okay.
So you all mount the
I
Brontosaurus
didn't
Rev?
say this was
Yeah.
a good idea.
Yeah.
I just said it
No,
was.
We should have reminded him that we're going in a cave.
Anna, could you put Sky up too, please? Thank you.
I put
She spins us.
Well, and so crucially, like I am extremely stupid, but I am still Reverend Goodberry's and your friend, so I will do what you say.
Liquor in front of us. Keep going. Good boy.
All right.
Wow.
Rev loves liquor.
You're just like dangling a little bottle like Brontosaurus.
I think we should let him have some.
Not that
The
we-
Brontosaurus just is
don't-
listing to the left a little bit.
I don't think we need him any more drunk than he.
It's okay. He's a dinosaur.
Down weigh like 70
to-
tons now.
Yeah.
That's a little too big, but more like 50.
I think it was 700 actually.
Yeah, no. Anyway, so as the Brontosaurus Rev is moving through the wood line there, you do notice that you begin to lose the path very quickly. It has been
We are the path now, to be fair.
the thick carpet of debris from the trees and stuff has covered this 10 years of basically disuse. But Reverend is kind of navigating. You're navigating Reverend, I guess, through the largest opening that you can find, which seems to be the path, the direction the path may go. But again, you are above the mist itself.
Damage to the local
system.
What? I can't hear you with all the genocide.
As you all are moving forward, you see an enormous towering figure materialize out of the gloom in front of you.
Oh,
This creature is armored. It has a giant two-handed sword clutched in its hands, and it looks to be ready for combat. And as you look at it, two other
Gonna do a kaiju
warriors appear to materialize just at the edges of the gloom itself. You can faintly see them. They're kind of lingering back in the mist. behind the original figure that you're looking at there. And you recognize Hagrid's outline in that first figure itself
What?
and realize that you're at the Remembrance Gardens.
Oh, okay.
And as you look at the remaining figures that are there, you can see that of the 12 that should be standing, only 7 still are. The others have been toppled over and broken. You can see that the ones that are standing have been defiled, they've been vandalized, pieces broken off of them. Obviously, somebody has
Rude.
wanted to
Yeah, for sure.
humiliate,
Exactly.
even though these individuals are long dead.
Does there seem to be, this is maybe a stupid question, but does it look like there have been some like intentionality between like the ones that have been like fully destroyed and the ones that are still remaining, or is it just like natural wear and tear? Some of them went down, some of them stayed up.
It looks, actually, you know, give me, I would say for you, investigation.
Sure.
Can I grant advantage because of my knowledge of
Yes.
stonework?
Still dirty 20.
30-20. Oh, that's more than what you needed. What it looks like is when these were vandalized, that the sides where they're toppled and knocked down must have been where they were most excited about doing the task. And the other side of it is probably where they kind of ran out of gusto
got
and just
bored.
were like, and pushed on past that. Because again, the ones that are shattered and broken are all to one particular side. Looks to be a lot of heavy duty work that was done, and the other ones are just on the other side. And especially the further away you go, the less damage is done to the statues themselves.
Is the stone the shattered stones are still there though, right?
Yes.
Would mending work to fix those?
It would be quite a bit of time and energy to repair the statues. So yes, you could possibly look to mend, but you would have to dip down into the miasma to do so. I believe. What's the range on mending?
It's also like tiny little bits at
Yeah.
a time.
I know. I mean, I
1
think
foot.
that's. Yeah, I mean that would be considerable.
The
work.
range is touch, and I'm not going in that miasma right now.
No. Anything else that you're doing at the moment?
Good rip.
Tree stuff.
We'll come back.
That's a crushing move.
Oh, yeah.
Moving forward then.
Yes, there's nothing we can do here.
As you move, Reverend, further into the wood here, you come up to the edge of that ridge line that you're familiar with as a child, and you can see the little guards rail that's been set up. And as you are on the back of the Reverend, you can actually look down from where you are, and from where you stand on that ridge, you can see over and see where the entrance to the Queen's Grotto should be almost directly beneath you there. The trees have given way to a very large clearing, purposely landscaped long ago to create a very splendid display for those that would be visiting the grotto. But all that grandeur and beauty has now been corrupted. The breathtaking flower beds are now just lifeless mounds of rotten vegetable matter grown over by very sickly, tangled brambles. Snow does cover a majority of the area, but the center area, where the statue of Lysindra should be standing, is clear of the snow. As a matter of fact, it is just soil around the statue itself. But the statue is no longer on the pedestal that she should be on. It's been tumbled to the side, and the marble statue has been broken. And sitting on that statue, sorry, on that pedestal, is a skull, a single solitary skull facing out, looking towards the way that you have to come down the ridge to enter into the Queen's Grotto.
Humanoid?
Yes, as you're peering down, taking a look at it, it may be a child or goblin skull. It's hard to tell. It is relatively small. There appears to be nothing special about the object. You can't really see any carvings or arcane runes on the surface from where you currently are.
Round 2.
Yes.
Same questions? Do we need to meet again?
No, but if Rhett would put his tail down there, we could like a slide.
Also follow the trail that just leads right down to the clearing from where you are. So there are multiple ways.
So many options to get down there, Will. So many options.
I think you should jump.
Sound it makes me go down it.
I was told by the Alpha Mother not to do what you guys recommended.
Oh.
Has she ever flown?
No, but she
Well.
still recommended against it.
Oh, I'd
I
recommend you for
don't.
it.
I don't recommend that you get off this brontosaurus in a whimsical way.
Oh, yes, excellent. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm pretty sure
second-
Tarquin gives us a wink after that. though.
Can you ask Tarquin if we can do it cool though?
Do it cool though.
And here we go.
Be cool.
With
Be a cool guy.
with my plus 15 to athletics, can I do a flawless gymnast tuck and flip off of the Brontosaurus?
Oh my God,
Yes.
I don't know. What
He's
did
gonna
I
stick
tell
it.
you?
They said yes.
And here we go.
Maybe. 21.
I draw up a sign, has a 10 on it.
You see, Tarquin lines himself up, takes a deep breath,
That means
does the little
10 out
arm
of 10,
thing, and
honey.
off he goes. Does this perfect flip, lands smack where he should be, perfectly sticks the landing on that.
Wow.
Armor hardly even makes a sound as he impacts. Because it's just so perfectly
This
fitted.
creature's big, like, head, like, turns around.
You see my hair, like
Yeah, that was a 6.
No, we
Was it lack
I think
dexterity?
you could do it.
Was it?
I took expertise just for that.
Do that too.
All right,
Yeah.
let's do it, Anna.
That's great. What was that again?
That would be, you could do acrobatics or athletics. Your
Okay,
choice.
great. Athletics, here we go. We don't. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be. Oh god. Can I sell you on a saving throw? Okay. It's a 17.
17.
If I see this looking like it's gonna go wrong, like a gymnastics coach, I'll kind of.
It doesn't go wrong like that.
Okay, it's good. It's looking good.
It's not quite as spectacular as yours. She does not quite stick the landing. She has to take a step or two. And her armor, since it is not quite as fitted as yours, makes much more noise.
It's just because it got repaired. It's just 'cause
Yeah.
It got repaired.
7.
New armor.
Yeah.
I think if we had the same armor, it would have been like synchronized
Oh my
or
god.
synchronized.
You know, it's just like it's like a little like it's a little off kilter.
Yes.
You
I
know?
wanna
It's
try
like-
I 100%
Take some of that rope that we used to direct the Reverend and just belay down.
Lay down you go.
I'm looking at the guy on the back, like all the strong people. To clarify, the miasma is not like billowing down in there. Like,
It seems to be just
okay,
hanging up here at the ledge. And actually, as you look down, although it is around where the clearing is, it doesn't creep into the clearing.
that's amazing.
I want to fall down towards Tarquin. Because he'll catch me, I'm so sure.
Attack roll.
already established that I was ready. As I'm pretending in this conversation with Anna, it's so focused on that.
I'm glad you help you drown me out.
Classic.
What was your strike of Tarquin?
Yeah. If that happens.
14.
14. She's coming in like a missile.
All right, am I rolling to catch or anything?
Yeah, you can do athletics.
Can I give advantage
Yeah.
to by being like?
Oh yeah, spotting.
This is
Yeah.
your chance.
Yeah, you got this.
That would be a 30.
Yeah, without Anna helping out on that, you're gonna
continue
kick him around.
and with my other hand, just
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're pretty sure that you're going to eat the ground hard. You're coming in like a missile. You're like, oh. And at the last second, Anna pivots him around. He looks up, and without even really breaking much of a sweat, not acknowledges you're coming down, continues to talk to Anna, catches you and sets you on your feet just perfectly, and hasn't broken stride in the conversation.
So anyway, Anna, technique. Next time you jump,
Yeah.
yeah,
Girl.
you gotta get low.
No. Okay. Yeah.
So,
Skeet, you're down there. The what else are we doing? Everybody,
Waiting for them. Wait.
Oh, I just walked.
kind of like takes a very nervous glance around, like
Closer. Oh. This is how birds learn. Is this an attack roll?
Yeah.
Or an
Yeah,
athletics
Echo is
check?
like, this is
Alright.
how baby birds learn.
25.
all right.
Yes.
As you are,
Sorry.
as you are gearing yourself up, figuring out what to do, all of a sudden, out
Sink or swim.
you sail off of the Brontosaurus rev
Oh, he actually did.
through the air, and it is first this kind of magical feeling as you're like, oh, and then you realize the ground is coming up towards you.
so. What do I have to roll to try to figure out how to learn to fly?
What's the
first?
dexterity saving? You can use acrobatics as
At some point, you will be within 10 feet.
That's true.
I will make that argument.
Yeah. and also-
I'm going to let you utilize the bonus from on the
And if she's coming, I'm gonna try and imitate Tarkin.
So you're bracing.
There you go. Great.
I know that dive plane.
Oh, why, yes.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. She's the one that has to roll it.
You killed Yip Yip.
I'm fine. It's not red.
What was your?
What's the total?
Yes, the ripcord has been pulled at this point.
Great.
It is red.
I forgot to back my emergency shoot.
What was it? What was it? Athletics?
Athletics, yes.
Sweet. Okay. This is 12.
12. All right. What ends up happening here is you do catch Yip Yip, but her wings have come out very naturally. But unfortunately, she doesn't have a whole lot of control, and it's the panic flapping. So you reach up and grab her. You're going to beat about the head, neck, and shoulders by the wings, and she's still in a panic mode. But neither of you take damage. It's more of an emotional abuse for the two of you there. As she no longer
Put her back up.
But again,
the trust fall
my head.
exercise did not quite work out as well as you.
If you threw her.
Echo, are you pointing at Sky?
Echo is just kind of like, I was over on the dinosaur item.
Well, now that like Echo is like the only one that's up there and trying to figure out.
Oh
how
no,
to
we still have Damon. We have no idea what has occurred with the Damon.
I'll just jump down.
You just jump down.
Yeah,
Athletics, please. Acrobatics, or yeah, that's acrobatics.
23.
With very little sound and fanfare, Damon is suddenly at the bottom.
But did I notice that you are like distressed because of Sky being up there?
A little bit, yeah.
Sky, no clips to the bottom.
Well, I'm here for it.
Oh well, you're up at the top. I just like bend. I just bend the head down because I need everyone to know that if you've seen like shows and documentaries or in places that say that these sauropod dinosaurs couldn't move their heads that much, it's not true. They leave their heads. They just drink water. So I just gently bend my head down to the ground and let you off.
Not
Roll,
just
roll nice.
drinking
and
Echo
gentle.
just walks like very calmly down and just plops down next to everybody and pats you on the head.
It's a much easier way to get down.
Because Yip Yip is very courageous.
You were
Decided
so
to
brave.
try to fly.
You're so brave.
That was yeah.
Got
Good on you.
So courageous.
So brave.
So brave of you, Yip
Sky's
Yip.
licking your hand right now.
I'm proud of you.
I do not perceive. My passive perception is -4. Please leave a message.
I would like.
How
I would,
did you get that?
Oh, I just walked down the.
Oh, you walked down the path with
Yeah.
the miasma?
Oh, you said there wasn't miasma.
No. There's
Yeah.
the path that leads down, but the clearing at the bottom is where
Yeah.
there's no miasma. To walk down, you'd have to take the path that leads down to that where there is the miasma. Or you could take the
Brontosaurus
Yeah,
elevator.
the Brontosaurus elevator.
yeah, right, the Reverend Express elevator down.
Figure out
Just
the
checking,
Brontosaurus.
you know,
which
just
one
asking
first?
questions. And now the only person left up top there is the Brontosaurus Rev.
And I'm just kind of like
Jump.
looking at all of you. Like,
We'll catch.
Not me. I do not consent.
it just kind of sounds like air letting out of a balloon. Like standing there, like
Hey, as Reverend
wow.
states, as Reverend
Still
states,
panicking.
my after shifting out of the Brontosaurus form at the top of the ridge there.
Was the Brontosaurus
Wait.
shiny and white?
I thought I was
Reverend's
like
outfit.
down.
No,
at the
you
bottom.
leaned your head down for them to go, but you stayed at the top.
Well, the
That's where everyone's
nucleus of
coming
the
down.
Brontosaurus is in the head.
Oh,
So-
I
but the
thought,
miasma
like,
seems to have no effect on you. It's just a mist.
Spooky mist.
and then I start doing this. Oh, God.
I'll remember you.
So the miasma,
Likewise.
Misery.
Likewise.
as you all trucked up the hill to go save your friend, the miasma doesn't seem to affect you either. It just tastes a little bad.
I was just joshing.
Do you think Reverend can fly?
Awkward.
I think we should get
That's my
going
worry.
before we start causing too much more noise and chaos
I
and
think
attracting
that-
everything to hear.
There's 0 chance if anything was trying to follow us that it's not.
Hey, listen, let's try to be serious here, folks.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Get really good at that.
So back down you all head.
yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As you all finally reconsolidate there at the clearing, the skull's eyes begin to glow and it now shifts to look at you as a part of her.
Don't even need a sword.
And when we get back from break, we'll find out what happens. So don't go away, and we'll see you here shortly.
I'm gonna ask it questions.
Welcome back. As we last left off there again, the
Yeah.
skull, the eyes have begun glowing. It turns to face you on the pedestal there, and as it looks over, it scans across you. You seek the grotto? No. No, they don't. Seek the grotto. Then something more, something deeper, something sealed away. Secrets, yes, yes. I can taste the hunger for hidden knowledge on you.
Looking for a mushroom, right?
Well, wait, you got some hidden knowledge?
It's hidden knowledge. It was taken. Yes, I had the knowledge. She took it. What do you see? What do you see? What are you seeking?
Well, we're really here about some mushrooms, but I'll take whatever else you got
As well.
as well.
As well. Skull shifts itself, and as you're looking at it, you're noticing now as you're closer to it, it's a bit malformed, almost as if it's been shrunken down a bit. Like it doesn't seem to be formed quite normally. There are imperfections in the skull itself. Teeth that aren't quite the same size as other parts of it. Maybe the cheekbone thrust out a little bit further than it possibly should. There are some cracks in the bone, almost as if they've fragmented a bit under pressure. Breathes in a bit. You can hear a sucking sound. You're not quite sure where that is going. Is it? I don't have any more secrets. I had secrets. Are you looking to enter the caves? You want to enter the caves? You go, you seek the caves.
We planned to enter the caves, yes, but we did not anticipate to find you. Who are you?
I was not always this way. There was a time, very long time ago, that I was something different, something else, no longer the guardian, no longer the keeper. But here I am. Here I sit. She placed me here, waiting. Waiting.
Who placed you here?
She,
Yeah, you said that.
Alice placed me here.
Oh, yeah.
She placed me here. She took my secrets. She took them. I don't hate her. I need her. I do need her, don't I?
I think hating her was.
Yeah, go back.
Go back to the hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We doing this?
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you seek?
I feel like we
Maybe.
already. We want to go in the caves, and there are some mushrooms in there that we need to use to make a tincture of some sort
An
to
ailment.
heal some of our friends.
Essence fruit. Yeah. Essence. It's beautiful. Cream among all the fruits. Yes. Gross. It's beautiful. She was beautiful. She is beautiful.
No.
You are at a crossroads, it sounds
We
like.
don't.
Yeah.
Okay, for the record, we don't know what she looks like.
Mhm.
You might not want to hear this. She could be a looker. I'm just saying.
For sure. And like, yeah, that's true.
My God.
You make a good point. You make a good point.
I'm here to keep you from entering. the
But she's really mean.
Well, then what
and
are
you don't
you
like
here
No. I'm not meant to keep anyone out.
Are you meant to keep
Yes, my task is to ensure that which has been placed within stays within.
Oh, unfortunately, that does kind of conflict with us.
We do plan to bring the mushrooms out.
And also
mushrooms?
ourselves. Yes, yeah.
We could bring you in though, if
Dude.
you would like to remain. That is
An
an
opposite
option.
war.
She would be
Amir was
so
looking back
impressed if
upon
you
the
were in
other.
the cave.
Sides of coin, which choice will they make? Victory is only loss.
Odds?
It is loss. I've lost. But I had much. At one point, you would have feared my power. With a finger, I could have struck you down. But she took all of that, and she She sought us out, and she needs us. And the sirens call it fever. She's helpless. Grateful her promises they were empty flattery.
Can I
But-
interrupt you, kind sir? It sounds like you have some negative feelings towards Malacindus.
Oh.
Maybe we can make a bargain.
Never negative. I couldn't hate her. I gave her my process, my formula. Free from those
Did you give
emotions,
her?
the impurity. It's logic and reason, the purity of clarity.
Okay, thread's lost.
You're really working through some things.
How-
Doing so well though. You're
We
doing
could just come
such a
back.
good job.
If I give her what she needs, she will desire me again.
No. You gotta withhold
And-
it. That's how you get. her.
If you'd like someone to talk to about all
What
of
does she need? Yes.
I mean, is there anything holding the skull down onto this thing?
No. They,
I'm gonna open the
just saying-
bag. And then just wait.
I'm gonna use the David's hammer and like,
Oh.
look at you
I will kill them.
and
So now-
pack it into the bag. All right.
As you
Are
do,
you-
what, attack?
Bag
You just-
holding.
Attack roll, please, if you're going to do so.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
What?
Just,
what
just a
Can I-
croquet. Or,
Yeah, just croquet
okay, yeah,
gently, croquet it in.
Well,
All right, everybody in.
not doing damage, just a little push.
Look, we took one skull out, we put another one in.
It's just the
Skull
cycle of life.
economy.
Where the skull, hey, that's a natural 20.
Get in the
The
bag.
dice one, what the dice one.
As the skull, its eyes begin to glow and the skull begins to rise off. Skeech is standing there with the bag, and just as it begins to exert its power, dink,
That was weird. Can we go get these mushrooms now?
To a therapist.
There you go. I would
Put that on the list.
wish that. Oh, any therapist in Melancholic.
So
Yeah, there's so many.
Seems to want to take this on. Yeah.
I think we made a lot of progress.
Yeah,
on some other skulls. You
it's a surprise tool that'll help us later.
Two at the tower, I
Absolutely.
believe. Is
I think we can handle it.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Next.
Great. All right. Mission accomplished. Onward.
Here we
Let's
go.
never talk about this again.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's where that lives now.
If we throw the bag of holding down another bag of hold, oh wait,
You can't throw a
Look,
bag of holding in a
it-
bag of holding.
You
I
absolutely
mean, you
can.
can.
I have some diagrams.
as let's see, can I see them on the etch and sketch, please?
What you
I
can
need
do
the
and what
what's
you
gonna be
should
paid.
do.
As for before we head off, it's the statue of Lysandra, my grandmother, is like toppled over, and we don't have time
like-
to like fix it or to bring it back up. It's too heavy. But before we walk away, I've taken some of the. We had some of like crystals and other parts of like the jewels and the gems that like broken off from some of the things that we had fought, and essentially just gonna like place that almost like on the raised parapet where the statue should be, almost like it's some type of like offering, if you will. Like, sorry, we can't fix this right now. We'll come back.
All right. You place the nice little pile of valuables there.
Baubles.
Baubles, yes. It looks like a pretty little arrangement. And before you is the opening to the cave system there.
Can I place one of the skulls from around the pond on the pedestal to just like
You grab one. You grab one from earlier, or
yeah.
you reach into the bag and pull out a skull.
Not,
Yeah,
not
I make sure it's not the same one.
Oh no, you can decide which skull you're pulling out by simply reaching in and pulling. Although
Okay.
you're
Perfect.
pretty sure something took a bite at your fingers.
Smaller skull.
To the stairs.
And I'll just put that where the other skull was.
There you go.
Yeah, that'll work.
So that looks great. Good idea, Skeech.
I only got like 3 more of those, so we have to use them sparingly.
Okay.
Imagine if you had kept the giant skull, what you could have done.
I think she would have liked it.
Oh, lovely. And the caves are before you. There doesn't appear to be any illumination. As you peer in, you can see where the light from the exterior kind of terminates maybe 20, 25 feet within. Those of you that have dark vision can obviously see further.
Pull out a jar
Oh, thank goodness.
and it Oh, it's just light.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I just like
I can also
Glow
light the
stick.
sphere.
like the dark
40
ones.
feet of dim light.
First I'm hearing of this.
I mean it's just
No, I
mean,
do.
like,
It
being able
does.
to see in the
You know, he
lights
did
to
bring up a point.
to get
Do you got any pictures of your grandmother or anything?
No.
Okay.
like roughly on the
I
scale of
mean,
1 to
like
3.
on me? No.
Yeah, like I said, if you're going to
You know,
rate her off scale 1 to 10,
just like yeah, just
Um,
which for the record I would not do because that's
I
derivative.
would rate
So
her
true,
as
so true.
dead to me. So can we move on?
I
The
feel
skull
like
seem to think at least emotionally it's 8.
yeah. Just got that kind of like femme fatale thing. Like
Oh my god, you guys are despicable. Let's move on.
yes, I am.
Thanks.
The caverns, as you said, are definitely
the world hurts.
they're definitely a welcome change from the cold embrace of the land outside there. You guess the temperatures are, while they're definitely above freezing, it's still relatively cool, but comparatively it is much more comfortable within there. The air has a very moist and earthy scent to it. The tunnel before you was comfortably wide, easily allowing even the most burly of you to pass with no difficulty. As it winds and mills its way through the stone, it has a very unusual formation. The hollow cavity of the tunnel seems to have been at one point limestone veins within an igneous rock formation, and it's been eroded by seawater that has obviously seeped through the harder stone. And Skeech, as you look at this with your knowledge of mining and such, it's very strange to you. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, as you've never seen limestone intermingled within volcanic rock before. And you're sure that this is certainly not a natural condition that has caused this to happen here, possibly related to the catastrophic events from long ago. Again, you had a question?
This is in Skeech. I'm Skeech.
Okay, sorry, I apologize about that.
This is for everyone else.
Well, I couldn't get my mouth working to say the word catastrophic, even if it was 10-cent words, so I just wanted to double check.
4.
It rocks.
Yeah, those rocks. What about?
What about?
They're not- Do you? Alright, so normally when this, okay, that's not the route I should get. These, the formations are right.
I'll take your word for it.
Like man-made or like unnatural, like worse than that.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's possible. Wait, there was that volcano thing under the tree, which is also not normal. Like,
No, that was not.
I assume if that was always there, I guess.
Well, I mean, imagine it was, but I mean, I'd still think it's strange.
Yeah, the librarians. No, yeah.
Well,
You're safe now, Anna.
it'll be something for us to be something for you to send your royal scholars out to study once we save the world, right?
Did you guys hear that?
I think that was the skull fell out of the bag.
I will be
Disintegration beam.
Go.
We're having a bit of a light technical difficulty there, but
Hey.
seems to be working now.
All right. Well, shall we?
Spelunk?
Yeah.
Spelunking.
Pick it up.
There you go.
Yeah, that too.
I hope this is not.
Proceeding further through the three tunnels, occasionally the path opens up into some natural wonder, a small chamber with fascinating stalactites or a mineral encrusted flow of water squeezing out of the rocks and then depositing itself in a pool. Each time you suspect you're about to be ambushed, but nothing happens. And while it is a relief, the apprehension continues to grow. Sure that around the next bend or the next opening ahead, danger is waiting. However, nothing does attack, and finally you find yourself at the Queen's Grotto. The grotto itself is about 50 feet long, maybe about 20 feet at its widest. There are no stalactites or stalagmites, and the only obstructions are a few boulders that have fallen long ago. The ceiling itself opens up at the top, and there are small slits where you can see sunlight that shines through. Most of the interior is worn smooth with the constant flow of condensation that forms on the walls and begins to flow down in rivulets. There is a narrow opening at the top, as I said before, and again, a surprising amount of sunlight comes through this. And plant life actually flourishes on the floor. There's a carpet of very soft pincushion moss that covers most everything there. And unexpectedly, you see wildflowers and even a small, spindly bush that are all in bloom, reaching up towards the light. And one of the things that you remember from back in the day is when you used to come to these caves, it was a very magical area from your childhood. And somehow it is still free from the corruption that seems to have infected all the rest of the plants within the city itself. What are you doing now?
Being pleasantly shocked that something hasn't been defiled, corrupted. No graffiti here, like on the statues.
Do you think the skull was what was keeping this safe, or I was confused by his motives?
I think he was.
Do you want to
confused by his
ask him?
motives.
No.
Yeah, I don't think he knew
Oh,
what he wanted or what he was doing.
Yeah, he needed guidance.
Yeah,
And it
It
sounds
said-
like
it
he was
said-
arguing with himself.
Yeah, it said nothing. He's supposed to keep things from coming out, not
Right.
in.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So yeah, as long as we leave it in the bag, we should be good.
Yeah, right.
We should,
Until later.
but well,
Until later.
this is out of character for us, but I think we should try to tread softly in here and leave it nicer than we found it.
It was at that moment that the grotto was too.
Right. Smash cut this later. I will cast Pass with Little Trace, not for stealth reasons, but so that we don't leave a trace. We're supposed to only leave footprints. Yeah. So
To the other bound.
wow.
we're very soft and delicate.
Just
We're
canonically,
being
I want
respectful
to
of our
leave.
surroundings.
Big-
This is growth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I want to lay down.
Like 5 minutes.
You lay down on the moss.
I want to lay down in the moss, just like, ooh, wow.
It feels absolutely wonderful. Again, the pincushion moss creates a very soft blanket on the floor there. And
It was a good
This is
moss.
very healing to my traumatized soul.
This
Moss?
I'm so scared.
Just
Uh-huh.
the doctor.
Enjoy
ordered.
it.
Yes.
It's so beautiful.
Am I in heaven?
That was last.
No,
No, no.
it looks weird.
Yeah, well,
Just
not
kind of like
closer there.
I feel like
looking
this is
around or just
prettier than
tapping her
heaven.
foot because yeah.
I feel like we should have thought about this earlier, but does anyone know what these special mushrooms look like?
Mhm.
Oh,
We got
didn't
Bigger than
We
they tell
child.
us?
Gigantic.
Rain-
Looking for them.
Oh, right.
Rainbow Big Child.
Mushroom. Yeah.
Rainbow Big Trout. I think
Um,
that's their name. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's its folk.
Do I have
we'll
that
see any-
goggle thing?
Yeah.
What does that do again?
So the goggle for the perfected's lens, which I assume that's what you're talking about, should reveal the paths of other creatures that
Oh, okay.
have traveled. So that'd be a bad idea to look.
Yeah, I'll look through the perfected goggles, just see if there's any footsteps.
Ooh, interesting.
nothing that the goggles currently pick up.
Okay, that's fine. There's probably
That's
nothing.
ominous.
Yeah, yeah. I think he said that in a very direct and like not foreboding way.
Well, do we see any like child-sized mushrooms in here?
Yeah.
No, you don't. Towards the back of the grotto are two openings on either side. Vaughn and Anna, you remember back in the day coming in here that they connect to almost a U-shaped passage at the back.
Oh, a little walking path.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds so lovely. Shall we?
This feels almost too quaint.
I agree. For some reason, this is so much scarier than all the undead.
Typically, they just are there, ready.
Vaughn, sometimes life is just nice.
What?
And I think we've been through a lot. So I'm gonna jinx this all for it's gonna be
You beat me to the punch.
You're so right.
Let's
Okay.
just
I don't
take a
read so
moment
much into
to
it.
enjoy
So
this
mad.
You're
peaceful
so right.
space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To that point, I look over at Damon and I say, Damon, did you ever think a couple riffraff like us would end up in the King's Grotto?
No.
Here we are. Well,
Riveting.
like, we have arrived, right?
I don't believe in monarchy.
Oh, neither do I. I'm never going to let us back in here again after this.
No.
definitely
That's
real.
important. Eh?
You know it was open to the public, right?
Oh, it was? Oh, that explains
The
so
public
much.
inside the city.
And anyone who chose to come.
They didn't even let us inside the city walls.
May I ask why?
Invisible systems of
Because
protection.
I don't know, it was too dirty, I guess, or I've never been.
ask.
No, Are you saying I could have just gotten
I
into
think
the
if you
city
just,
whenever
like,
I wanted?
lifted yourself up by
weren't
your
you a child?
bootstraps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
did you try that?
Bus runs every day, right?
That
We all
motto
sit
is
for
supposed
4
to mean
hours.
it's literally impossible to do so.
Damn it.
Look at
You
you
need
with
to
your
come try
books.
this. Come lay down.
I'll go lay down next to Mary.
It feels wonderful, actually.
Great. Can I make a nature check on the plants?
I'll
like,
do.
Is it?
Mossy.
Yeah.
Hey, you're like a big
It's all
smile.
illusion,
Actually,
you're
you're like,
slowly
I don't know if
getting
you
there.
stifle it or not, but you actually feel very, very carefree laying on there.
We're having lots
Make
of
a nature
angel
check on the
moment. Yeah.
plants to see if they're like, can they, realistically grow here, or is this like
Don't
Yeah,
ruin
go
this,
ahead.
bro.
I was gonna ask if I could roll an Arcana check.
15?
I'll let the two of you. I'll let
I roll
him
mushroom
roll
check.
advantage with your aid. So see you can work.
Well, it was more
Yeah.
so a question of
Guy Army.
are these normal?
Yep.
Okay.
So
18.
18. So between the two of you investigating
Check.
these plants and stuff in here,
Check
you're
on
not picking up
plants.
anything magical whatsoever. As a matter of fact, this seems to be not magically enhanced in any way, shape, or form. And if the seeds would have fallen through and down into here, they certainly could have grown very, very well. The bush itself that's flowering is typically an understory bush, so it's used to living underneath a canopy of larger, more dense foliage. And the flowers that are blooming around here are also the same understory type of foliage as well. So yes, everything that's growing in here certainly fits with what you see. The fact that the moisture condenses in here, rains down the wall, slowly but surely it is taking little bits of sand and such and debris and bringing it down to the base, where it also is grown over by the moss because it gives the nutrients at that point. As more layers of moss and leaves build up, well, you get more plants down here.
This is a natural phenomenon.
I think this is the happiest moment of my life.
It's good. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yip Yip's still just on edge. I mean, like, to her knowledge, anyone who's ever come in here has never come back out.
Well, that was like probably like the skull though,
Yeah, they
right?
didn't think to put the skull back.
Exactly. Step 1, skull and bag. I mean, if anything.
Step 2, prop.
Step
Step 3.
Thing was, like, it
On the
started
road,
talking
I
when
should
we
trust
walked
the
up,
back.
so
I love your plants.
Yeah, if anything, I don't trust. I mean, actually, looking at the track record, just the elderly in general, which is maybe
You know, you're not.
pot and kettle here at this point.
Oh, yeah.
So, well, this is very nice.
we should.
Apparently, I could have spent like every day here when I was a kid. But
What
which
is it?
which of
I
them
think
two
my
doors
booty-
are we supposed to go through to find these mushrooms?
It's just
Oh.
like a little walking path that I'm sure will be totally fun and chill and so calm and like just like
Serene.
serene. Yes.
I just want to make sure this has nothing to do with the skull mentioning a coin toss. That's all. Just when I see two doors, my
It
mind.
is quite a tunnel,
Flares up.
don't you think, Tar?
Oh, do you mean that? Well, do you mean we're about to face the consequences of our action earlier?
I said the tunnel is really beautiful, don't you think so? Tar?
Maybe we could
Mhm.
pair up in
Yeah.
groups.
A good tunnel.
Could we
Yeah.
like what if we tossed something into it? Like do we have extra skulls?
A
or,
coin would be thematic.
like, so thematic?
Just think.
All right.
Uh-oh.
And I pull out a coin from my pocket,
Yes.
heads or tails.
Heads.
Coin.
Specifically the side.
And the coin flips up, and I hold out my hand, and it lands right on its edge.
Hey.
Oh.
Right.
It's a coin.
Wow.
That's right.
Okay, how does that solve our door dilemma?
Oh, it does.
It's going to roll down the right path.
Pair it up.
Wouldn't it be better for us to stick together just in case?
Right, yep, we should be together. Good luck, everybody else.
Let's put the party.
You figure out.
Not?
Yes, do it.
Yeah, we
do
can
it.
meet on the nice walking path with them.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
Do we have a way to we can communicate through walls, right? So if one of us is in danger, the other group can.
We could just shout really loud.
Yeah.
We
Can attract anything else?
could
up in
also
here?
take a stick or something, some type of pit, and put it into the ground and tie off several things of spider silk and connect ourselves to it. We could engineer our way.
Or
Uh-huh.
we could go left.
I've heard going left is typically
Let's
the
do
best
it.
route.
Let's just also left.
Is that the
Make
right
it
choice?
simple.
Yeah,
Oh my
Mary
God.
I don't know how you know it, but you said it with such confidence. I'm convinced.
You know, everyone get their
feel it.
buddy, pair up, lock arms.
Mm-hmm.
Mary, do you want to go with Tarkin? Like,
Okay.
Here's Peach. Did you want to be my buddy?
actually with Yip Yip.
Yep.
Oh, actually, Damon's gonna be my partner.
You would watch as Vaughn was walking over to Damon and then just keep walking around so it's not awkward.
I was gonna be Damon's partner.
Easy
All right,
echo,
Tarquin,
write
you can
something
go.
down.
If anything jumps out, you can just wrap me up in your big strong arms.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just fears.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Trying to.
Reverend, I usually like to hold hands with my buddies going on scouting missions. Stay close.
All right.
Table to flip real quick. I'll be right back.
This is a really good
Right in
use
my
of self-love
serene
that I
garden.
would translate.
You need help.
I'm gonna cast disguise self, and I'm going to turn myself. Oh, wait a second. Do you like blondes, brunettes?
No preference. I'm a personality man.
I turn myself into a very attractive lady.
I don't see how that's
Don't
going to help
rename.
us. But you know, you do you.
The voice seems insulting.
What? Oh, Reverend.
And
Top two, Stephen.
I whisper.
Secret. Tarquin, are you uncomfortable?
Oh no, I'm doing great.
Okay.
You're right.
Yep.
And I
This way, I can read in this direction and relay tactical information to you
Yes,
through a hand.
what's going on?
Guy looks at the two of you thinking, oh, two people petting me at the same time, and her tail's wagging back and forth.
Mary, can I make a comment? I saw Bond look very disappointed when you chose Damon, and then Echo was back away.
Bond's petting Moss. Trying to not be awkward.
Touch
Since Echo has Sky, would you be my partner?
Only in D&D can you spend 40 minutes trying to figure out
Yeah.
which side of the tunnel
This
you're
is one of your players.
I really thought we were going to the
Riveting
left
moment
thing, and
that
then
we
we
tuned
just
into,
right back
left.
down.
You were really trying to get us to like move forward.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I'm gonna keep.
How dare you put a branch path in front of us?
He was just standing there, just so bewildered at the argument going on.
Yip Yip.
I am so sorry I forgot I'm choice.
Like, my
Left or right?
You can steer.
Would you like to be my partner?
Sure.
Okay, great.
Oh no.
Damon, I think maybe you should come this direction.
Just four of us. We're a quad. It's fun.
Guy's tail's really flapping above right now.
We got four.
I'm gonna pull over Yip Yip and say, "Come on, Bond looks sad." Come on, big guy.
Ball got picked last. Dodgeball.
This is the first time I've ever been picked.
Actually, technically, you got picked first.
No, I got picked first.
Oh, you talking about Vaughn?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Wasn't allowed to play team sports.
Very sad.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And
I
sports
got-
basketball team is next up.
Excellent. This is just like why I don't understand why that was a penalty.
Okay.
They said it would get in the way of my studies.
To clarify, you were all going down the left path.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but yeah,
Me and Tarquin are skipping.
Yip Yip and I are holding on.
15 to 20 feet interval, so everyone enters the
Yeah.
quad will go lag.
Like, if you will.
Me and Tarquin are going, and we're holding hands so that he can relay tactical information.
Tactical information. Yeah.
Fuck it.
Thank
Yeah.
Face in her hand.
So both entrances are maybe only 15 feet apart. And the tunnels
I hate
are
you.
another 30 or maybe 40
Our
feet
fault.
at a
Hold on.
gentle angle
Yeah.
before
Bring
they
your
meet
arm
up
up.
with each other. It's more of a V than actually a V.
Yeah.
And when you get to the end,
Same
Technically-
to the same
it's not
exact.
really a dead end, but it's kind of like where both tunnels meet. You've always thought it was just a little bit odd the way this tunnel was shaped. Didn't make a whole lot of sense as you were a child, but what you discover is that dead end is not so dead anymore.
Oh.
There's apparently was a false wall at some point in time that was installed, and you can see where it has been chipped and chiseled away. There are very thick, heavy iron bars that were sunk deep into the rock that have been cut hacksaws or something very crude in nature. You can actually see the teeth marks from the blades that have actually sawn through the metal itself, allowing you to access tunnels further that you didn't even realize were actually there. The tunnel head does slope noticeably downward, and you can see deposits of dirt that have washed down or fallen from the walls. You can also see signs in the dirt that it has been disturbed over the years. And there's a sturdy gate that has now been erected, mostly comprised of those solid iron bars that has been repurposed to form some sort of barricade that locks from this side. And again, while relatively crude, it does appear to be quite effective.
I think maybe this would be the time to.
Goggles on. Looking for tracks. Vector
Oh.
goggles.
Predator vision.
Go ahead and give me your survival and you roll with advantage.
Oh, it got cut off. I was like, +1.
Oh my God.
Plus 11. 18.
18.
Oh,
The hidden entrance was likely compromised a decade at least ago. The rust on the iron certainly is quite old. Whatever had happened here happened probably sometime shortly after the fall. There are lots of foot and drag marks leading into the opening, but they've been laid down over the years, so it's hard to tell. They kind of wish-wash over the top of each other, but most of the tracks seem to be leading to the door with less tracks leading back out. And the predominant and most prevalent tracks that you see are goblin footprints. There also seem to be other footprints as well, humanoid creatures of some nature, and again, drag marks that lead to the gate opening, but no drag marks that lead from the gate opening itself. The lock on the new gate is on the outside, and the hinges are also sitting on the outside of the gate here, indicating that the gate is designed to keep something that's behind it from coming out.
I bet that's fine.
I relay this to everybody. Do you remember anything about goblins having a presence in here?
I didn't even know that these tunnels specifically existed beyond the grotto itself.
Looks like they were trying to keep something from getting out.
Your guess is as good as mine. If this was something that the family was aware of, I had not been made privy of it.
There's still plants nearby, right?
You'd have to go back into the grotto itself.
Okay, there's nothing here.
Nothing over where you are currently.
Okay,
No.
never mind then. Any ideas?
I think we should go down.
I don't think we have a choice at this point. I'll grab all 3 hands. Because I could do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who has to hold on to his?
Well, one of Sky's paws is just in one of my hands.
You're holding on to the weird hand.
I want to hold the weird hand.
Okay, you can have the weird hand.
Does it have a thumb on both sides?
You can.
Whoa.
Don't.
I just want
All thumbs.
Oh.
All fun.
More like a 15.
Oh my
sometimes 16
goodness.
finger man.
His name really isn't going to it.
All right.
But yeah,
Or
we'll go through the door.
Yeah, we go through.
I'd locked.
All right.
I described the lock.
David.
Can I go on the other side of the door and unlock it?
Yes, actually you can.
Thank you.
Damon disappears, and a moment later,
Useful.
Your buddy is gone.
on the other side, you hear him fidgeting around with something
I'm just
and
looking at his
unlocks the
hand.
door.
That's cheating.
How?
I didn't say it was bad or good.
Damon-
Sometimes you got to cheat.
Do me a favor and make a perception check.
Oh God, no, don't have me do that.
I bet it's witness rations.
That's a 15.
15. The lock was more complicated if you had tried picking it from the other side than it was on this side. And you're not quite sure how to put it together what that means. It was easy for you to actually manipulate the plate to get it off, and then manipulate the gearing on it.
Relay that to the party.
Wait, does that mean it's harder getting in or harder getting out?
Depends on what slide you're on.
It would be harder for somebody to pick it from this side
So getting
than it was for Damon to simply open the mechanism itself and jiggle it.
They don't want people
to
getting
pop it.
in here. There was also a skull feller out front who was. I'm sure it's fine.
right now.
It's gonna be totally chill. Yeah.
We should just keep going.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As you continue forward, there really isn't anywhere else to go. About another 5 minutes or so of you winding slowly downward through the many turns and outcroppings, the tunnel opens up into a very large cavernous space. Tiny pinpricks of light from cave worms above mingle with bioluminescent glow from clusters of tiny mushrooms with petite, delicate black speckled caps create a very soft, dim glow within the cavernous space there. You are surprised to see the amount of detail that the light from these bioluminescent mushrooms give you. The ceiling is about 2 or 3 stories at least, and the actual shape of the cavern is kind of like an egg. You're towards the narrower front, and as it proceeds out, it gets wider and rounder towards the back end of the cavern itself. Growths of stalactites with their pointed tips, almost like fangs, hang from the ceiling, with the blunt ends of the stalagmites reaching up towards their partners from above. You can see over the years, tiny mineral deposits have just slowly but surely built these items up. And in places, pillars or stalagmites have formed as the stalactites and stalagmites have coalesced together to create these very impressive looking columns that have layered and layered and layered on top of one another. And they are a plethora of different colors on there. You have rust stained ones, you have other ones that are almost pure white. And the bioluminescence kind of glows and reflects off these as well. And what draws your attention the most are these very strange knots of outrageously tall mushrooms here and there throughout the cavern. They range in height from maybe a foot or two to easily twice the height of a human. And most of them have very broad, flared caps with a fantastic, intricate patterns of dots and swirls and some lace-looking pieces that hang down from the cap of the mushroom.
Any of them rainbow?
None of these appear to be rainbow.
How would we feel about collecting some of these mushrooms and maybe figuring out what they do?
Seems like a fun time.
Peach,
Yeah.
maybe you could do some experiments later. What do you think?
Sure.
I would love to. I'm sure these do stuff too.
Take out my dagger and just
I
start
volunteered
cutting
to-
a cube of shroom out.
I volunteered to help with these experiments.
Good. I need somebody to try them.
The two of
For
you walking over
academics.
to the mushroom. Where are the rest of you standing?
That's a very
towards
good
the entrance?
question.
Yip is standing
Yeah.
a bit in the room, but it's just kind of looking around right now.
Yeah, I'm in the room. I'm kind of walking around, looking at the mushrooms.
No, not walking around. Just I'm standing and trying to keep an eye out.
So you probably go furthest to the cave doing what you're doing, I'm assuming.
I assume I was near Skeech.
Okay, so you're with Skeech.
talking
All right.
to him about.
As you all are approaching the mushrooms, you come up to the
I'll
first
be up
cluster
there
that
with
you
them
see.
too. Yeah.
And again, in this particular cluster, there are about 10 or 12 of the really tall ones and 2 or 3 of the relatively short ones. And as you are kind of figuring out which of these mushrooms you're going to take a hunk out of, towards the back of the room, you're not quite sure what you feel. You sense it first more than anything else, like the serenity of the room has been broken.
Mhm.
Almost the wonder evaporates out of the air itself. And something primordial seems to take control. It causes you to almost freeze up, and the conversation becomes you to halt, and you can feel the hair on the back of your neck stand up, and you hear sounds of very heavy dragging or scraping noises, like something large slithering across the stone floor of the room.
Honestly, this is so much more familiar. I feel a little more at ease.
And as you are
Like you knew it was going
looking, one of the mushrooms opens its eyes as it turns to look at you, one of the short, small ones, and waves at you. And another mushroom next to it also turns as well and looks up to you. They're about the size of a human child or maybe an adult
I
goblin.
trust them completely.
And
I told you they could talk.
Yeah.
instead of large black irises are just empty pools, so to speak, as far as trying to read anything off of it. But they are very round and almost childlike appealing in their.
It's Skeet just holding a cube.
I didn't get that far.
Uh, so
But the phrase "it's so cute, I want to kill it."
the first mushroom reaches out for your hand, Skeech.
I want to instead
Stranger danger, Skeech.
just
Pull it in.
Yeah.
As you do so, it steps back with you, and you kind of naturally follow along, and you
Go to the mushroom
don't
row.
hear a conversation, but you get the sense that something has happened in the communication. The top of the mushroom cap changes its patterns and such, and there's a puff of liquid spores, and the big tall mushrooms begin to walk and form a wall around you, almost blocking anything from seeing you from one side as you are pressed up against a row of stalagmites. So basically, at this point, you are obscured from view. The rest of you, however, are towards the back of the cave and are very visible at this point. And you can hear the dragging. It's definitely two of these large things moving your direction.
And we see this happen.
See that?
Basically being
I wanna-
warped right now.
Well, it's not just
Cool.
each. It's pulled the Reverend, Anna, and Mary as well in the mushrooms.
I'm gonna, as I see this, I'm running up to the mushroom. See
you're
if I can
going like
get hidden.
this. like as mushrooms.
You're approaching another cluster of the mushrooms.
Get some
Oh, yeah.
friends.
Hey, mushroom friend.
This one, this mushroom that looks at you is more man-sized, and as it looks at you, it kind of tilts its head, and then as it steps back, the mushrooms that are around it as well also kind of open up for you to allow you to step into the cluster itself.
Either way.
Are we being
Tap
welcome?
you up. Is this good?
I'm being eaten.
I can't speak fungi, but like they
I
look
can.
like people. So can we? Do you speak? I will.
The
say-
mushroom is doing this to you, Skeech.
Do you speak? Any of you? Any of you clusters?
Are you going up to a cluster or just yelling from where you're
I'm
standing?
telling from where I'm standing. Hello?
At the back of the cave,
Is it
the
different?
dragging sounds stop,
I was gonna say.
and
Nice. Yes.
you get the sense that something is probing the cave.
What?
Something is. Excuse me.
You hear me whisper to like the spell whisper.
Don't you probe that cave?
Echo thinks back to every time in this campaign when other people do smart things and he runs into a branch with his forehead.
Do it again.
Is there an open cluster of mushrooms?
The one where Tarquin's standing currently.
I guess
Come on, we can do a tactical handle. It'll be
get
great.
quiet and nervously moves over to kind of ish where Skeech was.
Vaughn, are you joining them? You, it's Sky and Echo, the last
Yeah.
two. Damon, what are you doing?
Do I have to? Can I just hide?
Go ahead.
Mushroom?
There's nowhere else to hide except for the mushrooms, you know?
It's so weird. It's like you have to be nice to define this in order to live.
You're still in my bubble. so you
20
get plus 10
Oh,
for
37.
37. All right.
that. I actually
Damon just isn't there. All of a sudden.
also turned invisible.
Yes.
But
I'm gonna go over there.
Deduct your spell slots.
Yep.
If the two of you are going invisible,
oh no, I can do it myself, but I'm going over to him.
you're going over to him.
Yeah.
And Vaughn.
We'll spread out to a different cluster of mushrooms.
All right. And whichever cluster you all do go to, the mushrooms do welcome you in, and then you seal up around you, except for Damon and Yip Yip visible.
Yeah, Yip Yip went invisible, but she's also kind of slowly moving over as well, trying to stay close, but also kind of scared to just be engulfed by these mushrooms.
No fear.
They're pretty nice.
Yeah, that's super nice.
The politician.
As
So-
previously established.
For me.
As you all are hiding within your cluster of mushrooms, except for Damon. Damon, you are using all of your skills at this point in time to stay hidden. It doesn't mean that you're staying in one spot, mostly because you see them before anybody else does. And there are two absolutely massive snakes
Yummy.
moving through here. One looks to be a yellowish shape in the color, and the other one is a greenish color. The greenish one has a little, say, flange around its neck. Looks like it could expand, and two massive sets of fangs, top and bottom, poke out from its mouth. The other one looks to be, the yellow one, much more muscular than the green one, and both of them are probably about 25 feet in length.
Probably.
And as they move themselves around the cavern. Every so often you see their tongues flickering out, and the pits on either side of the fanged one's nose are shifted left to right, almost as if it's trying to hone in on a scent. Those of you that are around the mushrooms notice that again, every so often little puffs of spores or such will jet out of the mushrooms. Particularly the closer that the snakes get to you, and as the snake moves away, less so of that is coming out. And Damon, they seem to be lurking and circling about the area where you are. And it is a tense couple of minutes as they actually slip right, the yellow one slips right past you. I mean, it is less than
Let's
an
not
inch.
talk
You can
about food.
see
You'd like
the
to take.
muscles on the scales. Finally, the two of them slide
Didn't.
out of the room and through smaller, well, small, I guess is a relative term, smaller openings towards one side of the cave. And after a few minutes pass, additional tension, the mushrooms open up again, and the smaller mushrooms are looking over to you and very intensely studying you, Skeech, like their heads tilted back and forth. It's reaching over and touching your face. And
Pull out one of my bramble bombs and just put the potent fertilizer on the mushroom.
You can't, again, it's not really a form of language like you're used to, but you get a sensation as these little spores again come drifting out of it of happiness. Is that what you're feeling right now? And it seems to be quite pleased. There's a pattern of colors that ripple across the top of the mushroom cap.
Rainbow colors?
It does form a, I guess you could call it a rainbow, but not really a true rainbow.
Oh my gosh.
What's your
Aggressive?
So, and the little mushroom begins kind of holding your hand and pulling on you a bit.
I'm gonna call you Petrie.
And the other mushroom, that's the smaller one, I believe you're within the group on, is that correct?
Yes.
It reaches up and takes your hand as well.
Oh.
And the other rest of you that are in the clusters of the mushrooms, the larger ones don't take your hand. They don't seem to be quite as, they're not unfriendly, but they are going over towards the two younger, smaller ones and begin forming up with them. And they look back at you almost expectantly, like you're going to follow along.
Sure.
I guess we should follow them.
What's
wrong with your voice?
right now?
Remember? No, this guy's
Mhm.
a woman.
Are you still wearing the jumpsuit?
Sam.
That's amazing.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Yeah.
It's very tight.
It does conform to the wearer.
PG 13.
I
Negative.
mean,
Well, of course it was. What
The
would you think?
scroll someone's wearing isn't inappropriate.
That's right.
yeah. They,
The Reverend is expressing themselves.
Skulls and bags.
Little inappropriate.
Yes, yes.
And the mushroom keep leading you further and further into the cavern system itself. It is a bit of a downward slope to the tunnel system that they lead you through. Every so often it does come up a little bit, but most of the journey itself is a downward portion until you step out into a cavern's opening that is even larger than the one that you originally met them in. And this one appears to be very free of the stalactites and stalagmites for the most part, but what at first drops your jaw is the glowing plant life and such that is in here. They are colors that you don't expect to see on the leaves of plants. There are blues and red hues. There are brilliant, almost neon green hues as well, and they cast various shades of light within the room. You can see large crystals that have grown up and out of the floor and out of the walls. They themselves also seem to have a warm glow to them. And as you look into the room, you can see other of these mushroom kind meandering in within here, and they turn to look over you quite shocked. Not angry or anything else like that, but just in quite wide-eyed speculation at you. Of course, the back end of the room is an obvious structure that has been built almost like a tall pyramidal shape with three pillars of rocks that have been stacked together. And standing on top of it is one of the most beautiful things you've ever seen in your entire life. It is a woman that has merged with this mushroom. You can see a very delicate feminine form. The top of her is this large mushroom cap that sits off the back of her head, and her legs meld down into like the stalks of the mushroom itself. And she looks over towards you, and Vaughn immediately recognizes his mother. Here's where we start our episode this evening. Join us again next week. We will see what happens here in the Doom City of Granitegard.
Google
very much.
mushroom mommy.